This should be the trial mentioned in the note he discovered. Seeing Lu Qing observing the mountain peak intently, as if there was no one else around, many people's expressions changed. Soon, one person suddenly stepped forward, leading a group toward Lu Qing. It's Ba Tian. What does he want to do? Could it be that he wants to take action and remove this threat? Ba Tian can't be that foolish, right? He has no grievances nor enmity with this person. Why provoke him? Perhaps he wants to invite him to join forces, who knows? Does joining forces help? You saw the previous situation too. Wanting to climb this mountain peak is not about numbers. Ba Tian's movement immediately attracted everyone's attention, sparking various discussions. Of course, most of these discussions were exchanged through divine soul transmission. Otherwise, no one would dare to call Ba Tian foolish to his face. Fellow Taoist, Ba greets you. Ba Tian, bringing a few clansmen, came before Lu Qing and bowed. This bow surprised many people. Those who know Ba Tian know that his personality is always very domineering. Except for someone like Shen Songfeng, who has extraordinary talents and profound cultivation, almost no one could gain his attention, not to mention such a courteous greeting now. Hello, fellow Taoist. Lu Qing had naturally sensed Ba Tian approaching long ago. He also thought the other was here to pick a fight, given the domineering nature he had witnessed firsthand at Observation Peak. Now seeing the other's amicable demeanor, he was slightly surprised. I am Ba Tian, the heir of the Overlord clan. May I ask how to address you, fellow Taoist? Ba Tian asked very politely. I am surnamed Chun, with the single name Qing. Lu Qing gave his alias, but did not mention his sect or origin. Ba Tian didn't mind. While traveling, it was not uncommon for cultivators to hide their identity and origin. So instead of being annoyed, he exclaimed, So it's Mr. Chun. Mr. Chun, the way you brilliantly showcased your skills outside the ancient tower the other day, treating the guardian beasts as mere nothing and hunting them at will, was truly a sight that left Ba in awe. You're too kind, fellow Taoist. They were merely golden core-level mutant beasts. With your strength, Ba Tian, taking care of them shouldn't have been difficult. Lu Qing modestly replied. If it were in the outside world, Ba naturally wouldn't take those beasts seriously. Ba Tian laughed. But this secret realm greatly limits us, and Ba can't be as at ease as you, Mr. Chun. You're being too modest, fellow Taoist. The two exchanged polite platitudes, leaving those watching nearby somewhat bewildered. For a moment, they couldn't quite figure out the situation before them. Lu Qing was also wondering what medicine Ba Tian was selling in his gourd. But since the other didn't say, he didn't ask actively, just not believing Ba Tian could actually hold back forever. Sure enough, after a few more exchanges, Ba Tian finally changed the topic. By the way, Mr. Chun, are you planning to climb this Bone Mountain? I have that intention. Isn't that the purpose of everyone coming here? Lu Qing did not deny it. Indeed, we came into this bizarre space to seek opportunities. This Bone Mountain is so conspicuous. It evidently holds not a small possibility, containing opportunities. Ba Tian nodded. So, Ba merely wants to inform Mr. Chun that this mountain is not easy to climb. If you go up rashly, you might suffer a loss. Oh, why do you say that? Lu Qing raised an eyebrow. For once, he was genuinely surprised. Was Ba Tian approaching to inform him of the dangers atop Bone Mountain? This Bone Mountain contains immensely powerful sealing power. Once you step onto those steps, the suppressive force felt is much stronger than this space here. Moreover, with each step up, the sealing power increases a fraction, and every section climbed up Bone Mountain, the sealing power doubles. More importantly, within this Bone Mountain, there is unimaginable evil qi. The evil qi is substantial enough to form into various evil beasts, attacking during the climb. If you cannot withstand the erosion of evil qi, your divine soul could be severely damaged, possibly turning you into an imbecile. Ba Tian detailed the various dangers of the mountain climb. This left Lu Qing even more surprised, almost unsure of Ba Tian's intentions. However, he still bowed seriously. I see. Thank you for informing me, fellow Taoist. With such danger, Do you still want to climb this mountain? Ba Tian asked. I must try first. How else would I know whether it's truly impossible? Ba does have a way that can greatly reduce your pressure while climbing this mountain, Mr. Chun. Oh, I am willing to listen. Lu Qing thought to himself finally came, calmly inviting him to explain. Mr. Chun, your physical body is extraordinarily strong, the best in this secret realm. Your ability to withstand the sealing power on Bone Mountain is obviously much easier than for us. But facing the pervasive evil qi that can corrode the divine soul it might not be so easy. Ba noticed, sir, you don't seem to have any powerful magical treasures, and might find it hard to fend off those strange and persistent evil beasts. Why not let us, the Overlord clan, lend you a few powerful protective Dharma treasures to help you resist the evil beasts? But if you gain an opportunity on this mountain, you need to share a portion with us. What does Mr. Chun think of Ba's proposal? This statement caught everyone in surprise first, then everyone realized, so this was Ba Tian's intent. But after the surprise, many were stirred. To be fair, Ba Tian's proposal, though unexpected, had its feasibility. The strength of Lu Qing's physical body was something everyone here had witnessed firsthand. Being able to easily kill so many Golden Core-level mutant beasts with the power of the physical body alone. It can be said, Lu Qing's physical strength was beyond the imagination of the powerful people present. If this person wanted to climb Bone Mountain, the chances of success were really much higher than theirs. If Ba Tian did reach an agreement with Lu Qing, he only needed to lend a few magical treasures to share part of the opportunity. Such a deal was very profitable. Who says this person only solves problems with brute force and no brains? This meticulous calculation shows his flexibility. For a moment, everyone realized they had been deceived by the carefree facade Ba Tian usually displayed. In fact, he was deeply calculating. Lu Qing was also surprised by Ba Tian's proposal. After being taken aback, he smiled and said, "Thank you for your enthusiasm, Ba Tian, but I still want to try on my own first." "That's fine too. Please try as you will, Mr. Chen. Ba's proposal remains valid. If you change your mind, you can come over at any time to discuss." Ba Tian heard this and did not press further. He understood that people like Lu Qing were very determined in character. How could he be swayed by a few words from Ba Tian? If it were him, he would also definitely try before considering cooperation. He had already experienced climbing Bone Mountain and deeply knew its perils. Therefore, he was confident that after Lu Qing tried and realized the difficulties, he would naturally come over and discuss cooperation. So after Lu Qing refused, he did not try to persuade him further, but returned to the original location with a few clansmen. In another direction from where the Overlord clan was located, 17 or 18 figures were discreetly lingering at the edge. However, no other forces dared to approach them. Whenever someone glanced over, they displayed a look of awe, because these were the allies of the two most powerful factions to enter the secret realm this time. The teams from Daoshu Temple and Biluo Palace, the two top forces. That Ba Tian is quite clever, to think of such a method. He doesn't seem as clumsy as he appears, right, Fairy Luo? A young man wearing a Star Taoist robe chuckled. The people of the Overlord clan may act overbearingly, but they're not brainless. Otherwise, they wouldn't have maintained their position in the top 3 of the 36 clans for so many millennia. This Ba Tian, as the Taoist of the Overlord clan's generation, is naturally not as simple as he seems on the surface. A woman with a veil, with a graceful figure and a cold demeanor, as if she were in a mist, replied faintly. "Indeed, but this one doesn't seem to be appreciative yourself, Fairy Luo. How far do you think he can ascend?" The young man in the Star Taoist robe continued. "I don't know, this person is very mysterious. We'll see as it unfolds." The veiled, cool-toned woman responded. "Brother Ba Tian, how far do you think this person can ultimately climb up the Bone Mountain?" On the other side, Shun Tsongfeng also inquired to Ba Tian. "Certainly above the 10th joint. This person's physical body is indeed more formidable than ours, bearing fewer restrictions, and the height he can reach is likely higher than ours," Ba Tian speculated. "But exactly how far he can go, I can't say for sure. That's true. Most of our cultivation is above the magic power golden core. The space imposes too much suppression on us, while this one's robust physical body compensates quite a bit. Shun Songfeng nodded in agreement. If he wasn't capable, I wouldn't consider cooperating with him either. Brother Ba Tian, you're good at seizing opportunities. But if he suddenly reaches the top and obtains the fortune, what do you plan to do? Shun Songfeng tentatively asked. What else can I do? Ba Tian replied calmly. If he can truly ascend directly to the top and obtain the fortune, it means his strength surpasses our expectations. If so, in this space we would not be his match, and that fortune should be his. Brother Ba Tian, you see things clearly, Shun Songfeng praised. Let's watch first. This bone mountain has dozens of joints. The higher it goes, the more perilous it becomes. Even we barely climb to the 10th joint. No matter how strong he is, he can't reach the summit. After he encounters setbacks, he'll consider my proposal. Ba Tian continued. Just worried if then, other factions will also have this thought and compete with you for him, Brother Ba Tian. As long as Brother Shin doesn't compete with me, the other factions, if they are so inconsiderate, at most will have a battle. My overlord clan doesn't fear them, Ba Tian replied indifferently. Shun Songfeng smiled slightly without saying more. Ba Tian didn't mind. Although he and Shun Songfeng called each other brothers, it didn't mean their friendship truly reached that level. Being able to enter together was due to the divine soul oaths they both took. But to say they truly trusted each other, even Ba Tian himself didn't believe it. So Shun Songfeng's lack of response didn't surprise him. Instead, he continued to focus his gaze on Lu Qing. Lu Qing, who was being watched by many strong individuals, didn't rush to ascend the mountain at once. He first observed Bone Mountain carefully for a while, then pondered for a bit. Only then did he slowly head towards the steps under the gazes of many strong individuals. It's starting. This one is finally going to climb the mountain. Everyone, guess how far this one can climb? Hard to say. Previously, when top golden core individuals like Ba Tian and Shun Songfeng tried, most couldn't last beyond the 10th joint. This one has a strong physical body, but we don't know what magical treasure he possesses, so it's hard to guess. I guess this one is likely to surpass the 15th joint. His physical body is too strong. Being able to control such a robust physical body, his divine soul power surely isn't weak. Those evil beasts might not be able to deal with him. Amidst the discussions of many strong individuals, Lu Qing finally arrived at the foot of those steps and took a step up. As his foot landed on the steps, Lu Qing's body trembled slightly. He felt a powerful suppressive force falling upon him. A fierce, evil aura also burst forth from under his feet, trying to erode his physical body from the ground up. The pressure in this space was already very heavy, but the suppression on these steps was even stronger. And this was just the first step. According to Ba Tian's words, the further up one goes, the stronger the suppressive force becomes. Looking at the long steps spiraling around Bone Mountain, Lu Qing couldn't guarantee exactly how far he could climb. Feeling the pressure on his body, Lu Qing thought it was manageable. But just as he was about to ask Little Li in his arms, he suddenly saw Little Li leap from his embrace, landing on the steps. Little Li, Lu Qing exclaimed softly in surprise. Ah Qing, I can't stay on you anymore. A voice in my head keeps warning that to undergo the trial, I must climb the steps personally. Little Li told Lu Qing. Is that so? Lu Qing remarked in surprise. But thinking about it, he realized that the trial of the majestic ancient witch clan wouldn't allow such loopholes. Since that's the case, let's climb the steps together. If you can't endure, don't push yourself. Little Li nodded seriously. What is that? Is it that person's spiritual beast, also climbing the stairs? When Little Li jumped out of Lu Qing's arms, the powerful spectators watching below were all taken aback. Many had noticed this spiritual pet for quite some time. After all, wherever that mysterious young man went, he carried it along. Previously, during the hunt of the guardian beast outside the ancient tower, he brought this spiritual pet with him. However, this spiritual beast had never displayed anything extraordinary, and the aura it emitted wasn't strong. So everyone just thought it was a cute pet that Lu Qing favored, with no peculiar traits. But unexpectedly, Lu Qing took it along to climb the stairs. Instantly, everyone felt astonished. Then, when they saw Little Li really following Lu Qing, hopping up the stairs with ease, many powerful figures widened their eyes. The powerful figures at the base of the Bone Mountain had almost all climbed the stairs and knew well the immense pressure on them. Not to mention the pervasive invasion of evil qi. It's said that for a strong Golden Core initial realm cultivator, it's quite difficult to climb the stairs, barely reaching the second bone segment. So seeing such a small and adorable spiritual pet easily climbing the stairs, those Golden Core initial realm cultivators could hardly believe their eyes. Suddenly, they realized that the cute spiritual pet the mysterious young man was always holding was also extraordinary. It seemed even stronger than many of the Golden Core realm strong cultivators present. That pet seems interesting. The cold-faced, veiled woman slightly shifted her eyes. Little Li's sudden appearance made the hearts and spirits of the powerful figures below even tenser. Just like that, under the watchful eyes of many powerful figures, Lu Qing and Little Li climbed the stairs leisurely, step by step. Luckily, the pressure increase with each level isn't too strong. While climbing, Lu Qing also felt the changes on the stairs. Then he discovered that the pressure increase for each level was just a trace, almost negligible for him. This relaxed his heart significantly. Otherwise, if the pressure increase for each level was strong, with so many levels on the stairs above the Bone Mountain, it would accumulate into a terrifying number. However, this evil qi erosion is somewhat stronger than the primordial blood of the Golden Core initial realm that was refined before, but not as strong as the Golden Core mid-realm. Little Li should handle it without much issue, Lu Qing felt while climbing. Soon after, they reached the junction of the first and second segment of the Bone Mountain. Little Li, according to Ba Tian, the pressure and strength of the evil qi double with each bone segment. Be careful, Lu Qing cautioned. Got it, Little Li replied solemnly. Seeing this, Lu Qing nodded slightly and stepped forward, officially entering the position of the second bone segment. Immediately, he felt the pressure on him sharply increase. Having climbed so many levels, the pressure accumulating on him was already considerable. Now it doubled instantly. More importantly, even the evil qi underfoot doubled, almost reaching the level of the evil qi contained in the Golden Core mid-realm primordial blood. Beside him, Little Li let out a light hum, shuddering slightly. Little Li, are you okay? Lu Qing asked with concern. I'm fine. Little Li shook his head. It's just stronger pressure. I can still hold on. That's good. If you can't hold on, let me know. One person and one beast continued climbing, while the powerful figures below, seeing them climbing steadily on the second bone segment, began discussing again. This time, however, their focus was not on Lu Qing but on Little Li. What kind of spiritual beast is it that it can reach the second bone segment? Although spiritual beasts usually have strong physical bodies, isn't their divine soul power typically weaker? How is it resisting the erosion of the evil qi? Incredible! As expected, powerful beings have extraordinary spiritual pets. Perhaps the spiritual beast has some kind of powerful ancient bloodline. Mutant beasts with ancient bloodlines are generally the royal family of the demon clan and should be cultivating in the demon domain, not appearing here. Who knows? But this spiritual beast must have an extraordinary origin. This young man is so mysterious, he might be connected to the demon domain, you never know. That's an interesting guess. Maybe it's the truth. No one was surprised that Lu Qing reached the second bone segment. They had already witnessed his strength many times. If he couldn't even reach the second bone segment, that would be strange. But Little Li achieving the same feat was quite shocking to everyone. For a moment, everyone began guessing about Little Li's origin. Amidst the discussions of powerful figures, Lu Qing and Little Li continued climbing steadily. The second bone segment, the third bone segment, the fourth bone segment. As they climbed higher, they finally reached the junction of the fourth and fifth bone segment. The gazes of the powerful figures below were once again filled with anticipation. Here they come, finally reaching the fifth bone segment. That spiritual pet can actually reach the fifth bone segment. This fifth bone segment, besides another increase in pressure, the scariest part is, the pervasive vicious evil chi undergoes a qualitative change, starting to become tangible and not only limited to the feet but begins to envelop the body for a full-scale erosion. Most Golden Core mid-realm strong cultivators retreated in defeat at this fifth bone segment. Indeed, the tangible evil chi is terrifying and can corrode even protective Dharma treasures. I wonder if that spiritual beast can still withstand it. In the eyes of the powerful figures, the tangible evil chi was not much of a threat to Lu Qing. But for that small spiritual beast, it was uncertain. The spiritual beast's physical body is naturally strong, but their divine soul power is generally weaker than cultivators of the same realm. They wanted to see if Lu Qing's spiritual beast could withstand the erosive evil chi after its qualitative change. Unknowingly, the attention on little Li from the powerful figures wasn't any less than that on Lu Qing. Did that evil chi really condense into something tangible? Standing on the fifth bone segment, Lu Qing sensed the change around him, and his expression turned solemn. He wasn't worried about himself. This amount of evil chi couldn't harm him. He was concerned about little Li. The evil chi on this fifth bone segment has far exceeded the level in the Golden Core mid-realm primordial blood. Little Li. I'm fine, I can still manage. Little Li's voice was a bit strained but extremely firm. At this moment, it was not only bearing immense pressure on its body but also had to stay highly alert to cope with the tangible evil chi. Fortunately, its condensing is on an immaculate innate top-quality demon core, and over the years following Lu Qing it had gained numerous opportunities. This enabled its physical body to be robust and its divine soul exceptional, far surpassing other spiritual beasts of the same realm. Additionally, unlike when refining the primordial blood, it just needed to ward it off externally. So, despite the terrifying evil chi, little Li could barely sustain it. Ah Qing, if we ascend another bone segment, I might have to use my divine skills. Little Li said at this point. No problem, the sealing power on the bone mountain is strong, and the evil chi is heavy. The people below wouldn't dare to use divine soul power to spy. Using your divine skills won't reveal much. With the heavy evil chi on the bone mountain, anyone using divine soul power would risk immediate invasion and descent into madness. Lu Qing didn't think the people below would court death like that. That spiritual beast actually withstands the fifth bone segment's evil chi erosion? Looking at Lu Qing and little Li, who continued climbing after reaching the fifth bone segment. Many of the powerful figures watching below had their mouths agape. Even able to withstand the evil chi of the fifth bone segment. The spiritual beast certainly is a royal family-level spirit beast with an ancient bloodline. According to rumors, the spirit beasts and demon beasts of the demon domain place great importance on bloodline inheritance. If anyone awakens an ancient bloodline, they are immediately crowned as royalty. Indeed, the royal family within the demon clan is equivalent to the Taoist of our human race's major powers, all of whom have immense potential to achieve the primordial spirit realm as peerless geniuses. Could it be that this spirit beast has the royal bloodline of the demon clan wandering outside? If that is true, once word gets out, this spirit beast will likely stir up quite a storm. Not only will the demon clan be alarmed, but many powerful figures in our human race might also be tempted. That's right. A spirit beast with ancient bloodline has immense potential and is almost guaranteed to reach the primordial spirit realm if allowed to grow smoothly. Who wouldn't want such a spiritual pet? The group of strong individuals looked at little Li's figure, all filled with astonishment. Some even showed an expression of extreme greed in their eyes. Such a promising spirit beast, as long as it undergoes divine soul enslavement in advance, is almost equivalent to having a future primordial spirit realm spirit beast. Such temptation is hard to resist, even for a powerful figure in the primordial spirit realm. Lu Qing was unaware that little Li's outstanding performance had made many of the strong figures below have numerous thoughts. He and little Li were ascending the steps, one step at a time. Fortunately for Lu Qing, as those below speculated, the suppressive power and evil chi below 10 segments posed little pressure to him. His main concern was still little Li's condition. If little Li can't hold on, he'll immediately tuck her into the leaving fire tripod. Though the opportunity is great, Little Lee is more important to him. After reaching the 5th bone segment, Little Lee clearly was struggling more than before, but fortunately, not to the point of being unable to sustain. She followed Lu Qing, gradually ascending the steps. When arriving at the boundary between the 5th and 6th bone segments, both the evil qi and suppressive power were nearing the limits of what Little Lee could endure. Although she had refined an impeccable innate premium demon core, her cultivation was ultimately shallow, currently holding only the pinnacle strength of Golden Core second turn. This 5th bone segment had already eliminated most of the strong ones in the Golden Core intermediate realm below. Little Lee was able to reach here with just a Golden Core second turn realm. If her true cultivation were exposed, those Golden Core realm experts below might be shocked to questionable disbelief. When Little Lee jumped forward and formally set foot on the 6th bone segment, her entire body trembled, almost unable to stand firmly. At that moment, a mysterious aura emerged from her body. Little Lee's form suddenly shrank a circle, stabilizing her stance. It was Little Lee already displaying her innate divine ability, wishful size, abruptly boosting her physical strength, defensive power, and force to resist the pressure and evil qi on the steps. As for her space divine ability, it was of little use on this bone mountain. Firstly, this space is incredibly stable. Even Little Lee's innate divine ability is hard-pressed to break in. Secondly, ascending Bone Mountain is a test to be accepted. Diving into subspace likely won't be recognized by Bone Mountain. Little Lee, are you all right? Lu Qing asked. After using my body, my strength has increased significantly, able to withstand the pressure and evil qi of this bone segment, but my mana is rapidly depleting. Qing, we may need to climb faster. Little Lee transmitted to Lu Qing. Then let's speed up a bit. Lu Qing nodded, then stepped up his pace, accelerating upwards, while Little Lee leaped and followed behind him. Why have they sped up? Upon reaching the 6th bone segment, they accelerated instead. What's the logic here? That spirit beast can still keep up. Definitely an exotic spirit beast with an ancient bloodline. Lu Qing and Little Lee's acceleration again shocked the strong ones watching below. Earlier, when they climbed Bone Mountain, their speed slowed as they ascended. It was never wrong to say that every step was laborious near the end. Yet Lu Qing and his spiritual pet instead sped up as they ascended. How exactly are they doing it? Such quick speed. They're about to reach the 7th bone segment. Under everyone's gaze, after accelerating, Lu Qing and Little Lee quickly ascended, soon reaching the boundary between the 6th and 7th bone segments. Then, without a moment's pause, they directly crossed that boundary. Once formally on the 7th bone segment, their speed noticeably slowed again, mainly because pressure and evil qi doubled once more, making it difficult for even Little Lee, who had displayed her innate divine ability. Qing, I might not make it to the 8th bone segment, Little Lee said with some difficulty. Her fur and the tip of her tail quivered. No problem, go as high as you can. It's a valuable training for you, Lu Qing encouraged. Yes, I understand. Little Lee earnestly nodded. She has a feeling, under such pressure, as long as she can persist to the end, she should gain considerable reward. So until she reaches her true limit, Little Lee wasn't willing to give up. With this thought, Little Lee continued to climb upwards. However, her pace slowed significantly. When nearing the 8th bone segment, she often had to rest for over 10 breaths before ascending another step. That spiritual beast is nearing its limit. The powerful observers below also noticed the situation by now. Based on the previous attempts at climbing Bone Mountain, the pressure and evil qi at the 7th bone joint is something even a 7th transition Golden Core expert can barely withstand. The fact that this spiritual beast has made it this far already puts it above most of us here. Indeed, if it were outside, this spiritual beast would definitely attract the attention of a primordial spirit great power. Look, they're almost at the 8th bone joint. Considering the speed of that spiritual beast, it might not make it to the 8th bone joint. Amidst the discussions, Lu Qing and Little Lee slowly arrived at the junction of the 7th and 8th bone joints. Little Lee, are you sure you want to go on? Lu Qing asked as he watched little Li, whose limbs were trembling but still desperately trying to steady itself. I want to try, Qing. Little Li's tone was very determined. All right, let's continue upward. But if you can't hold on, I'll immediately take you into the leaving fire tripod. Lu Qing felt little Li's resolve. He didn't stop it but preemptively spoke to it. Nodding to show understanding, this time little Li took the lead with difficulty, jumping onto the stairs of the 8th bone joint. In the next moment its legs gave way, and it collapsed onto the steps. Dense, substantive evil qi instantly shrouded it. Lu Qing followed closely behind and stepped up. His body was steady as a mountain, and a layer of faint white light emanated from him, blocking all evil qi from entering. Lu Qing didn't pay attention to these. His eyes were tightly fixed on little Li. However, he did not immediately take it into the leaving fire tripod, because he could feel that little Li was still holding on and hadn't given up. The shrouding evil qi, though terrifying, hadn't fully invaded its body yet. As long as little Li didn't give up, he would respect it and wouldn't immediately take it into the leaving fire tripod. Under Lu Qing's watch, little Li lay on the steps for a while until it had somewhat adapted to the pressure of the 8th bone joint and then began trying to get up. Initially, little Li's attempts were not smooth. After several efforts, it still struggled to support its limbs. Ultimately, perhaps the surrounding environment forced its potential out. On the 5th attempt, it finally stood its legs tremblingly and steadily. Qing, I did it! When little Li completely stood up, it couldn't hide its joy and shouted to Lu Qing. Amazing! Lu Qing generously praised. It was all thanks to you, Qing. At first, I couldn't stand up, but the bloodline refinement from a few days ago left some residue inside me. Just now, under the pressure of the 8th bone joint, it fully integrated into my body, letting me gather more strength. I see. Lu Qing suddenly realized he was wondering why little Li suddenly became stronger. However, I've truly reached my limit. I can't make it to the next step. Little Li said regretfully. There's nothing to regret. You've surpassed your limits this time. By the time we get out, your realm will likely increase, which is quite a gain. Lu Qing smiled. I can feel it. Once outside, I should be able to enter the Golden Core 3rd transition realm. Thinking of this, little Li also felt happy. Qing, please take me into the leaving fire tripod. I can't accompany you further up the steps. No worries. Let Senior Yen activate the restriction of the leaving fire tripod, so you can still watch my ascent while inside. Lu Qing moved his heart and spirit, about to take little Li into the leaving fire tripod. However, at that moment, little Li's suddenly's ears twitched and it shouted, Qing, wait a moment. What's wrong? Lu Qing was stunned. The voice warning me earlier has appeared again. It says I've passed the test and can enter something called the purification pool. Little Li tilted its head, trying hard to repeat the words told by that voice in its mind. What did you say? Lu Qing was greatly shaken. Qing, what is the purification pool? Should I agree to it? Little Li actually passed the test? Could it be that the test of Bone Mountain doesn't necessarily require reaching the summit to pass but has other criteria? Lu Qing took a deep breath, recalling information from the notes he'd found on Bone Mountain, having a faint guess in his heart. But he didn't rush things and instead told little Li, don't hurry. First try asking it what benefits there are in entering the purification pool to see if it'll respond. Little Li concentrated, trying to inquire within. Soon it replied, it says entering the purification pool will allow my physical body to transform into a true witch. Qing, what is a witch? Indeed, Lu Qing's heart was shaken once more. Now he could truly confirm that little Li had indeed passed the test. More importantly, little Li's inquiry tested that the other party could indeed engage in conversation. Could it be there's a living entity within Bone Mountain? I don't know what a witch is either. You might want to try asking that voice. Little Li concentrated again and quickly said, it says a witch is the mightiest existence in the world, and that once I transform into a witch, I'll become much stronger than I am now. Lu Qing had gradually calmed down and proceeded. Then you should ask. After transforming into a witch, can you retain your demon core and mana? Little Lee asked again and soon received an answer. It says the witch's cultivation path is the strongest in the world, accommodating everything and any other cultivation methods. I can keep my demon core according to my will. Such power. Is witch cultivation truly that formidable? This response surprised Lu Qing very much. Ah Qing, the voice is urging me now, asking if I consent or deny, Little Lee suddenly said. Lu Qing suddenly found himself facing difficulty in decision-making. Logically speaking, passing the test would provide Little Lee with an opportunity, which is a good thing. But this sudden communicative voice had Lu Qing somewhat vigilant. After a few moments of contemplation, Lu Qing again told Little Lee, "Ask if you can communicate with it. It says, Ah Qing, you haven't passed the test yet and, according to the rules set by the creator of this space, you don't qualify to converse with it." The creator of this space? Lu Qing's heart stirred. He deliberated again before speaking to Little Lee. You may agree to it. This should be a rare opportunity. But remember, even if you gain the witch's legacy, your demon core must remain intact. If it's not possible, it'd be better not to take the opportunity. Perhaps the witch's cultivation path is mighty, but Little Lee's demon core is an immaculate innate top-grade demon core. Lu Qing wouldn't want it to switch paths suddenly. Little Lee nodded seriously. Though it still didn't completely understand what Lu Qing meant, it knew that in matters of cultivation, following Lu Qing's advice was always right. Then you go ahead first. Don't worry, once I've passed this test and conversed with that voice, I'll go to you. Lu Qing reached out to rub Little Lee's head, comforting it. Then be quick, Ah Qing, Little Lee said sweetly. All right, go ahead. Little Lee immediately communicated with the voice inwardly. In the next moment, a light sphere suddenly emerged, enveloping Little Lee, and as the light faded, Little Lee's figure disappeared from the steps. Seeing this scene, Lu Qing felt much more relieved. The light sphere appeared suddenly and disappeared suddenly, and even he couldn't stop it at all. This further indicated that the other party likely had no ill intentions. Otherwise, with such means, the other party wouldn't even bother wasting time in negotiations. They could just seize the person directly. Now, with this being the case, this test must be passed. If previously, Lu Qing only embarked on this climb with a trial mentality. With Little Lee now taken, he has no retreat and must also pass this test, engage in dialogue with that voice. Thinking this, Lu Qing looked up at the still long stairs ahead, settling into a serious demeanor. Meanwhile, the powerful observers below, witnessing the sudden appearance of the light sphere and the disappearance of Little Lee, were in an uproar. The spiritual beast has disappeared. What happened? Is it because it couldn't sustain itself and was collected into the space treasure by that mysterious youth? It doesn't look like it. Seeing the suddenly appearing light, I rather feel it was more like being taken away by this space. Could it be that the spiritual beast passed the Bone Mountains challenge and gained an opportunity? But it only climbed to the 8th joint. Earlier, Ba Tian and the others had reached the 10th joint and were almost approaching the 11th joint. Yet there was no reaction from the Bone Mountain. Perhaps the challenge of the Bone Mountain isn't just about who climbs higher. There might be other standards. If it really got an opportunity, then we are truly inferior to even a spiritual beast. Losing to that mysterious youth is one thing, but now being outdone by his spiritual pet is utterly disgraceful. Upon seeing Little Lee suddenly disappear, the experts below were in an uproar, speculating about the reason for its disappearance. Especially Ba Tian and Shen Tsongfeng, these pinnacle golden cores, were particularly bewildered. They had previously climbed to the 10th joint without any such phenomenon occurring. Yet this little spiritual beast vanished just upon reaching the 8th joint. Considering the power emitted from that ball of light, could it really be that it passed the challenge and was taken by the Bone Mountain? Look, that mysterious youth is climbing further up, so fast. At this moment, someone suddenly shouted. Actually, there was no need to shout. The experts who were closely watching the movements above had already seen it. Once the little spiritual beast disappeared, that mysterious youth started to climb further up. And his speed was even faster than before. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say he was sprinting up. Only then did everyone realize that Lu Qing had been conserving his strength, presumably to care for his spiritual pet, hence slowing his climbing speed. Now that the little spiritual beast was gone, he finally truly displayed his strength. Lu Qing climbed upward. A veil of faint white light appeared around him, completely pushing away the evil qi that condensed into tangible form in the surroundings. This white light was not any divine communication technique or Taoist skill, but naturally derived body treasure light from his strengthened physical body. With Lu Qing's current physical strength comparable to a magical treasure, the body treasure light generated was even more formidable than many treasure-level protective treasures. The evil qi on Bone Mountain was strong, but so far it was no threat to him. And this protective treasure light was naturally derived, a manifestation of his incredible vitality. Maintaining this current intensity required no mana consumption on his part. From a certain perspective, it could be considered a type of physical body divine power. Compared to actively deployed protective Taoist skills, it had many more advantages. So until now, his mana hadn't been depleted at all, still in its peak state. Without having to care for little Li, his climbing speed far exceeded before. Shortly, he had already crossed 2 joints, reaching the intersection of the 9th and 10th joints. He's about to reach the 10th joint. Previously, Ba Tian and Shen Songfeng halted at the 10th joint. Who knows if this guy can break that limit? No need to guess, of course, he can surpass it. Just look at his speed. It's much faster than Ba Tian and the others were. Ba Tian and Shen Songfeng, the young man from Daoshu Temple wearing the star Taoist robe, and the holy daughter Luo Xianzi from the Biluo Palace, all revealed solemn expressions. On reaching the 10th joint, not only would the suppressive force become unbelievably strong, but the evil qi would also undergo a transformation. It would not only become more terrifying but would also morph into various forms of evil beasts, attacking them. The evil beast-formed evil qi was extremely troublesome, ubiquitous while also capable of corroding various treasure lights and protective treasures, greatly increasing their mana consumption. This was precisely why they struggled to endure and had to retreat. They were eager to see whether this mysterious youth, who hadn't used any magical treasures or Taoist skills while climbing, could withstand the assault of that dreadful evil qi. Unaware of the thoughts of the experts below, Lu Qing's only focus was to swiftly reach the summit to find little Li. So even when faced with the 10th joint, he did not hesitate in the slightest and stepped right onto it. As his feet landed, officially entering the range of the 10th joint, immediately, besides the oppressive force doubling again, the surrounding evil qi, which had already taken on tangible form, also underwent another change, beginning to morph into a multitude of evil beasts, howling inaudibly as they attacked him with unsettling waves. So this is the morphing evil qi that Ba Tian mentioned. This means they at least reached the 10th joint before. Lu Qing, watching the encroaching evil beasts, showed no change in expression. He could feel these evil beasts were far more fearsome than simple evil qi, but it seemed they couldn't harm his body treasure light. Indeed, when those evil beasts lunged at him with claws bared, they merely collided with the body treasure light outside Lu Qing, rebounding without budging the light at all. Seeing that the evil beasts truly couldn't penetrate his body treasure light, Lu Qing felt reassured and continued rapidly climbing upward. His speed even accelerated once more. Soon, he passed the 10th bone segment and entered the 11th bone segment's range. This scene naturally amazed the strong figures below once again. What? The 10th bone segment couldn't even slow his steps? More than that, why do I feel like his speed has increased? Everyone else slows down as they go higher. Why is it the opposite for him? Is this reasonable? What exactly is that protective aura around him? Even the illusory spiritual beasts can't do anything to it. Such speed, crossing the 10th bone segment and entering the 11th, he's officially surpassed Ba Tian and the others. Seeing Lu Qing entering the 10th bone segment with undiminished speed, then ascending the 11th with extreme swiftness, the crowd of strong figures all displayed expressions of utter shock. especially seeing those illusory spiritual beasts unable to shake the faint white light on Lu Qing's body. They felt even more incredulous. Even the top golden cores like Ba Tian showed expressions of surprise. They had all ascended the 10th bone segment and understood how terrifying those spiritual beasts were. Even the protective light derived from activating a spiritual artifact could hardly last long. Yet this person resisted it. Could it be that the spiritual artifact he possesses is far more powerful than theirs? Under the amazed gazes of the strong figures, Lu Qing rapidly ascended without hindrance, reaching the 15th bone segment in no time. Here, the pressure on his body had reached an appalling level. If this pressure fell on other cultivators, even someone at the latter stage of the Golden Core realm would likely be instantly crushed into flesh pulp. Only an anomaly like Lu Qing could withstand it. Yet even he, upon reaching the 15th bone segment, finally found his steps slowing. Plus, the spiritual beasts taking form were becoming increasingly powerful, now capable of shaking his body treasure light. Lu Qing had to slightly reduce his speed, finally slowing down. He reached the 15th bone segment in one go. How formidable is this person's physical body? His performance has completely surpassed Ba Tian and the others. Is he really still in the Golden Core realm? The strong figures below were already in a daze. Even the top golden cores like Ba Tian and Shen Songfeng were deeply shocked. In their initial estimates, even if Lu Qing managed to surpass them, he should have at most reached the 12th or 13th bone segment before reaching his limit. Yet they never expected him to reach the 15th bone segment before slowing down. And now he was still climbing. Though his speed was reduced, it was still much faster than their own at the 10th bone segment. This indicated that Lu Qing hadn't yet reached his limit. The 15th bone segment wasn't his ultimate height. Is this person really in the Golden Core realm? Even Ba Tian couldn't help but voice his question. Beside him, Shen Songfeng remained silent, but his expression was notably grave, because what Ba Tian marveled at was also the question in his heart. Isn't he perhaps some primordial spirit great power using some unknown secret technique to infiltrate? On the other side, the Daoshu Temple Taoist in a Star Taoist robe couldn't help but express his astonishment. The veiled, cool woman beside him didn't reply. She simply gazed up at Lu Qing, waves of emotion stirring in her eyes, revealing her inner turmoil despite her calm exterior. Boom! Under the watchful eyes of the strong figures, Lu Qing stepped onto the 16th bone segment steps. At this moment, his steps were incredibly heavy. Landing on the steps, there was a dull thud. Spiritual beasts around him were like 100 ghosts in a parade, frantically attacking him, trying to break his body treasure light and infiltrate his body to consume him entirely. Under such attacks, Lu Qing's body treasure light finally began to waver, showing signs of strain. With just the power of the physical body, can I only go this far? Lu Qing stood there, silently feeling the pressure on his body, a realization dawning in his mind. Though he could still continue upward, relying solely on physical strength, he could perhaps only complete this bone segment and no longer withstand the next one's pressure. It seems I need to employ a trump card. Just as Lu Qing was about to activate his magic power Golden Core, suddenly a genderless voice spoke in his mind. Trialist, you have passed the trial of Witch Mountain. Do you wish to enter the purification pool and receive the baptism? I passed the trial? The sudden voice caught Lu Qing off guard. He didn't expect to gain recognition before reaching his true limit. However, he didn't agree immediately, instead calmly inquiring in his mind, if I go to the purification pool now, can I meet little Li? Are you referring to that little spiritual beast? Certainly, trialists who pass the primary trial will undergo purification in the same pool. Primary trial? Lu Qing's heart was stirred. So there are higher trials? Naturally. By reaching the 16th bone segment solely with physical power, you've just barely met the standards of our witch clan's elite disciples from the past, passing the primary trial of Bone Mountain and earning the qualification for the purification baptism to become a witch. What are the higher trials? If you can reach the 20th bone segment, you pass the intermediate trial, comparable to the geniuses of our witch clan in the past. If you reached the 30th bone segment, you'd pass the advanced trial, on par with direct descendants of the Witch clan with true ancestor Witch bloodline. However, cultivators from the path of Qi refinement like you cannot hope to pass trials beyond the intermediate level. I advise you to give up. Path of Qi refinement, what is that? Lu Qing's interest was piqued, and he immediately asked. The path of Qi refinement refers to cultivators like you who follow the Qi refining path. In ancient times, we referred to them as the path of Qi refinement. Though you cultivate the path of Qi refinement, your physical body rivals the elite disciples of our Witch clan, which makes you quite an anomaly. I am a cultivator of the path of Qi refinement, but according to your records in the outside hall, I should be your enemy. Why then allow me to pass the trial and enter your Witch clan's purification pool? Lu Qing voiced a doubt he held in his heart. You can see the murals in the hall? The voice seemed slightly surprised but quickly calmed. Those are ancient matters. Whether our Witch clan still exists today is debatable. Is it meaningful to cling to such hatred? Besides, these occurred countless millennia ago. What do they matter to a little guy like you? Lu Qing didn't expect such a response. Simultaneously, he confirmed that the entity communicating with him was undoubtedly an ancient existence that had lived for untold eras. Immediately, his demeanor showed some respect. Senior, what benefits would there be if I pass higher-level trials? You wish to keep going? The voice expressed slight surprise. Indeed, I still have some strength left and want to try again. I advise you not to overestimate yourself. The pressure and evil Qi above aren't something your cultivation can support. I'm aware of these limitations, and if it becomes impossible, I will naturally give up, Lu Qing insisted. Ah, little ones like you, always so ambitious. Our Witch clan also had many such spirited young ones back in the day. Very well, it seems I can't dissuade you. Go ahead and try, though this Witch Mountains trial is beyond even my interference. Should any mishap occur and you fall here, don't regret it. The voice seemed unusually gentle with Lu Qing, perhaps because it had been too long since its last interaction. I understand. Then continue upwards. Should you reach the 20th bone segment and pass the intermediate trial, you'll qualify to enter the intermediate purification pool. If you reach the 30th, you may access the advanced pool, and upon reaching the summit, you'll enter the true marrow purification pool. True marrow purification pool? Lu Qing's eyes lit up. True essence purification pool? Upon hearing this, Lu Qing's eyes lit up. The name alone sounded extraordinary. Indeed, the True Essence Purification Pool is the highest level purification pool of our Witch clan. Even in our Witch clan, it is a treasured place that only unrivaled prodigies, great witch seeds, who appear once in 10,000 or even tens of thousands of years, might have the chance to enter. If you can truly ascend to the pinnacle of Witch Mountain, it indicates your talent is comparable to the most stunningly excellent unrivaled prodigies of our Witch clan, naturally qualifying you to enter the True Essence Purification Pool. That being said, the voice clearly did not believe Lu Qing could achieve this feat. After all, from its perspective, it was evident that Lu Qing had not even cultivated to the pinnacle of his current realm. Being able to reach here with such a level of cultivation was already astonishing enough. If he could even reach the top, wouldn't that make him far more devilish than those unrivaled prodigies of the Witch clan in ancient times? To the mysterious voice, this was absolutely impossible. In fact, even to ascend to the 20th vertebra and pass the intermediate challenge, it did not believe Lu Qing could do it. However, it also understood that most geniuses are proud and ambitious. A cultivation genius like Lu Qing must be extremely proud, and persuasion would be futile. He would only wake up to reality after he hit a wall. It only hoped that this little guy wouldn't push himself too hard and die on Witch Mountain. After all, it had been lonely for too many years, and it was rare to see a little guy who barely caught its eye. It didn't want him to die so easily out of his arrogance. A treasured place that only unrivaled prodigies, great witch seeds might enter? Upon hearing this, Lu Qing's eyes shone even brighter. From the information he had gleaned earlier, he understood that the position of a great witch in the Witch clan was even above that of a true witch. The heaven-reaching bone mountain beneath his feet was refined from the spinal bone of a fallen true witch. If a true which was already so powerful, a great which must be an even more unimaginable existence. Therefore, someone called a great which seed must also be an extraordinarily outstanding devilish genius. And the true essence purification pool, which only such a talent could qualify to enter, how precious it must be. Immediately, Lu Qing made up his mind. No matter if he had to use all his cards, he would try his best to see if he could reach the top. Senior, given such an opportunity, I wouldn't be satisfied unless I make a serious effort. In that case, I wish you good luck, young one. Having said that, the voice did not speak again. But Lu Qing knew the other party must still be observing in secret. He looked up at the spiraling steps above, knowing this time he had to take real action. Immersing his heart and spirit into the magic power golden core, the next moment, the perfect golden core in Lu Qing's Dan Tian Qi Si began to slowly dissipate, merging into his physical body. This caused his already immensely strong physical body to once again break its limits, gradually ascending to an even more unimaginable level. However, even though the strength of his physical body quickly ascended again, Lu Qing, with his strong heart and spirit, restrained his aura, preventing those below from sensing it. This little guy's aura. Only the one in the dark noticed Lu Qing's change and was suddenly a bit astonished. And just as Lu Qing was merging the magic power golden core into his physical body, the crowd of strong individuals below, who were observing, became uncertain and suspicious. Why has he stopped? Could he have reached his limit? That shouldn't be the case. His speed had diminished quite a bit earlier, but it didn't seem like he had completely reached his limit. Perhaps further upward on the bone segments, the situation is different. After all, none of us have reached that height. Or is he like the little spiritual beast, having passed the Bone Mountain's test and about to be taken away? No, he's starting to climb again, and so fast. Why is he much faster than before? As the strong ones below were speculating, everyone was shocked to find Lu Qing climbing upward again. And this time, his speed was faster than any previous time. Almost at a running speed, he continuously sprinted upward. This scene left everyone completely dumbfounded. Indeed, after completely merging the magic power golden core into my physical body, my physical strength has more than doubled. While running, Lu Qing was feeling the surging, almost inconceivable power within his body. Originally, after refining a large amount of witch's primordial blood and undergoing physical transformation, the strength of Lu Qing's physical body was already jaw-droppingly powerful. Even when compared to Golden Core post-realm mutant beasts, he was not at all inferior. And now, after fully integrating the perfect Golden Core into his physical body, his physical strength soared to a level that even astonished himself. Lu Qing estimated that with his current strength, if he faced those 3 Golden Core post-realm mutant beasts outside the ancient tower, he might be able to topple them with a casual palm strike. With the great increase in physical strength, Lu Qing's body treasure light also became much stronger. Initially, it was on the verge of collapse, but now it had stabilized, remaining unmoved despite the onslaught of evil beasts transformed by evil qi. With the surge in power, Lu Qing felt the pressure on him lighten up. As he ran, steps swiftly passed under his feet. The ever-increasing suppression force did not slow him down in the slightest, and the vast numbers of evil beasts were easily scattered by him. One bone segment after another crossed under him, and before long, Lu Qing lightly leaped over the 19th vertebra, firmly landing on the steps of the 20th vertebra, pausing temporarily. Stopped again, huh? The experts below saw this scene, but this time, they didn't dare to speculate whether Lu Qing had reached his limit, because they realized that this person truly couldn't be judged by common sense. Every time they thought he was going to reach his limit, they would always find that it was just an illusion. Not only hadn't he reached his limit, but he could also burst out with even more astonishing speed. Moreover, when ascending to the 20th joint of Bone Mountain, Lu Qing's speed didn't slow down. So they knew that his stay wasn't due to reaching his limit. Senior, how about it? Have I passed the intermediate test? On the 20th joint of the Bone Mountain steps, Lu Qing lightly shook, scattering the evil beasts surrounding him, and asked, I didn't expect you could fuse your magic power golden core into your physical body, breaking the limits of the power of the physical body. This capability seems to be one that only the legendary perfect golden core would possess. The mysterious voice reappeared, but its tone was no longer as calm as before, and it carried a trace of admiration. No wonder you are so confident. It turns out the golden core you've condensed is perfect, that's why. Senior, you know about the perfect golden core? Lu Qing was taken aback. It was the first time someone could see through the reality of his golden core, although this entity might not necessarily be human. Naturally, I know. During the Witch Dao Wars, your lineage produced many prodigies, with the most astonishing being those who condensed the perfect golden core. Some of them even grew to become giants of the Dao lineage, equivalent to our witch clan's great witches. Invisible, formless, transforming at will. These are unique abilities only possessed by those who condense the perfect golden core. Back then, my witch clan even tried to prematurely eliminate such geniuses, but because the perfect golden core could change its aura anytime, it was largely ineffective. Unexpectedly, after so many years, I'm seeing a genius like you again. The mysterious voice carried a trace of nostalgia, perhaps recalling something. But its words made Lu Qing's heart skip. So, senior. Haha, no need to worry. It's all many tens of thousands of years past, and has no relation to a little fellow like you. Moreover, the creator of this space didn't advocate for the Dao Witch Wars in ancient times. Otherwise, you little fellows would have been extinguished as soon as you entered this space. The voice seemed to see Lu Qing's worry and laughed. Lu Qing thought this made sense. This secret realm was indeed the Witch Clan's trial land. If the creator of this secret realm harbored deep hostility against the Dao lineage's cultivators, they wouldn't have been able to come here in the first place. I see you still have energy left. Are you planning to continue climbing? At this moment, the voice spoke again. Senior isn't going to discourage me anymore? Lu Qing raised an eyebrow. You having condensed a perfect golden core already makes your cultivation talent no weaker than those peerless geniuses, the great witch seeds of my witch clan's lineage back then, and you also seem to have other encounters making your physical body quite strong, so you are qualified to continue ascending. The reason my physical body has been trained to this extent owes much to the opportunities within this secret realm. Lu Qing mentioned about refining the bloodline within mutant beasts for his cultivation purposes. So that's it, you discovered the primordial blood within those creatures outside. You're quite a lucky little fellow. The mysterious voice realized. I said your physical body somewhat resembles ours. The witch clans. It turns out it wasn't an illusion. Senior doesn't blame me for excessively hunting mutant beasts in the secret realm? Lu Qing asked tentatively. No worries. Those creatures were originally bred by our witch clan as food. Kill them as you wish. It's utilizing them to their full potential. This answer was unexpected to Lu Qing. However, he felt relieved. Then I shall boldly continue climbing further. Go ahead. The creator of this space once said that the geniuses who condense perfect golden cores from a Dao lineage are no less than the great witch seeds of our witch clan's lineage. Let me see if his claim holds true. The mysterious voice fell silent again. Lu Qing set off once more, continuing to ascend. The experts below saw this scene. Understanding that this person was merely pausing, the 20th joint of Bone Mountain still couldn't hinder his progress. Seems the opportunity of this Bone Mountain is going to be seized by this one. Already past the 20th joint, I can hardly imagine how immense the pressure is on him now. Can someone truly bear this at the Golden Core realm? No need to focus on the suppressive force. Just look at the evil beasts circling him. Any one of them striking down could wipe out most of us here. Is this person truly at the Golden Core realm? Watching Lu Qing's figure quickly ascending Bone Mountain, someone couldn't help but raise this question again. And this time, no one refuted it. They were also pondering the question, even Ba Tian and Shen Congfeng weren't exceptions. It's because Lu Qing's performance was overwhelmingly abnormal. It far exceeded the expected limits of the Golden Core realm. They really couldn't imagine such feats being possible at the Golden Core realm. Yet the newly conceived secret realm of Tianshu Divine Mountain is universally acknowledged to be inaccessible to those of the primordial spirit realm. Previously, when this secret realm just opened, some primordial spirit great powers attempted but couldn't enter, unable even to approach the spatial whirlpool serving as an entrance. If Lu Qing were a primordial spirit great power, how could he have circumvented the rules and snuck in? For a moment, perplexed and uncomprehending sentiments filled everyone's heart. The mood of those below didn't affect Lu Qing. He continued ascending rapidly, but when his steps reached the 25th joint, the pressure he bore reached an exceedingly terrifying level. Even the 3 golden core late-stage mutant beasts outside the ancient tower would be crushed to death under this pressure. Such fearsome pressure finally slowed Lu Qing's pace, turning his sprint into walking. Though slower, Lu Qing's steps remained steady. He walked upward step by step, with the 5 elements gourd rapidly operating within his Dantian Qi Si, extracting spiritual charm from middle-grade spirit stones, refining it into mana to replenish his consumption. Even so, upon reaching the 27th joint, Lu Qing began to struggle with each step. At this moment, an ancient big cauldron's shadow emerged from his body, scattering the surrounding evil beasts and lightening his pressure, allowing him to extend his stride again. Relying on the power of the leaving fire tripod, Lu Qing ascended 3 more joints, finally taking an arduous step and standing on the 30th joint of the stairs. Up here, amidst the clouds, the experts below could no longer see Lu Qing's figure. After ascending the 30th joint, Lu Qing's breathing grew heavy, yet his mood lightened significantly. According to the mysterious voice, reaching the 30th joint meant passing the advanced test, qualifying one for the advanced purification pool. Only 3 joints left above? At this moment, Lu Qing looked up to find just 3 joints above him remaining. This bone mountain had only 33 joints in total. Unexpectedly, you managed to press on this far. The mysterious voice appeared again. However, you must be at your true limit now. These last 3 joints, you have no strength left to climb them. In our witch clan's lineage of great witch seeds, there were those who managed to reach the peak in the past, though not many. It seems that your Dao lineage's perfect golden core ultimately falls short by a margin. The statement made by that esteemed person in the past wasn't entirely accurate. The mysterious voice exhibited a hint of fluctuation. It seemed pleased that the unparalleled talents of the witch clan surpassed the legendary perfect golden core of the Dao lineage. Junior naturally cannot compare to the geniuses of your noble clan. But there is one thing, Senior, that you might have mistaken. Lu Qing said with a smile. Oh, what have I mistaken? The mysterious voice asked. Could it be that you want to say, you haven't yet reached your limit? But before it could finish, it realized that the aura around Lu Qing surged once again, continuously climbing upward. Senior, this is the last resort of mine. If I still can't reach the top, then truly I am powerless. This is the power of divine skills. You actually possess a divine skill, and it's even a physical body divine skill. The mysterious voice, given its nature, couldn't detect it when Lu Qing hadn't exhibited the divine skill earlier. But now, sensing the divine power surging within him, it immediately understood what was happening. It was, of course, not unfamiliar with divine skills. On the contrary, it was very familiar with them. After all, for the witch clan, the later stages of cultivation involve developing various powerful physical body divine skills. Otherwise, relying solely on the physical body, how could one pluck stars and grasp the moon and roam the infinite starry sky? It was just unexpected that although Lu Qing was cultivating the golden core method of the Dao lineage, he still managed to possess a physical body divine skill. It should be known that even within the witch clan, one generally only starts exploring the cultivation of physical body divine skills upon reaching the true witch level. Yet Lu Qing, who wasn't even a true witch at this point, had a physical body divine skill, which was indeed rare. This junior is not worthy. Back when I crossed the tribulation and achieved the golden core, I was blessed by heaven and earth, endowing me with a divine skill, but I didn't expect it would be of use today, Lu Qing explained. Bestowed by heaven and earth, I see. Your Dao lineage follows the path of understanding the law, which is easily favored by the great Dao, making it reasonable to be granted a divine skill. The voice immediately understood. Senior, let me see if I can go a little further. After casting the Great Strength Divine Skill, the power of Lu Qing's physical body surged once more. Originally breathing heavily, his breath calmed down again. Over the years, Lu Qing has never relaxed his comprehension of the two small divine skills he mastered. By now, he's already reached great success in both skills. The reason he hasn't reached perfection is still because his realm is a bit low. However, with the great success level of the Great Strength Divine Skill augmenting his body, it was enough to dramatically increase Lu Qing's physical limits again, completely resisting the pressure on him. The body treasure light on his surface shone brightly again, scattering away the terrifying mutant beasts. He took strides, climbing the last 3 bone segments. Relying on the support of the Great Strength Small Divine Skill, the last 3 bone segments couldn't stop Lu Qing's steps. Finally, he steadily reached the top, standing at the summit of the Bone Mountain. Despite the crushing pressure akin to Mount Tai on him, and countless terrifying evil beasts howling as they charged at him, Lu Qing remained unmoving, unwavering. Finally, after he persisted for a full quarter, all of it suddenly dissipated like smoke. Aside from the lingering pressure, all the evil beasts vanished, no longer appearing. Senior, does this mean I have completely passed the test? Lu Qing asked. Yes, you passed the highest level of the Witch Mountain trial, qualifying you to enter the purification pool. The mysterious voice sighed. In fact, when Lu Qing exhibited the physical body divine skill, it already knew that this young fellow would inevitably reach the top. It was far too familiar with the mighty power of divine skills. Lu Qing, whose physical body wasn't weak from the start, once the golden core melded into the physical body, combined with the augmentation of divine skills, climbing to the top was inevitable. Nonetheless, the mysterious voice followed the rules and inquired, "Little fellow, having passed the trial, will you enter the purification pool to receive the baptism?" This junior is willing. Lu Qing naturally did not refuse. Having revealed so many trump cards to get here, wasn't it all for this? As his words fell, a ball of light suddenly appeared, surrounding him. Lu Qing didn't resist, letting the ball of light envelop him. The next moment, his figure disappeared from the top of the Bone Mountain. When he reappeared, he was already in a mysterious space. All around was a blood-colored mist, with a square blood pool, 1 zhang wide, in the center. Around the blood pool, there were fluctuations of spatial power, and strands of mysterious energy were being drawn from unknown voids, merging into the pool. This is the witch's primordial blood? Lu Qing looked at the blood-colored mist surrounding him. His body shuddered, immediately recognizing where this mist came from. It turned out to be of the same origin as the witch's primordial blood he had previously refined from the mutant beasts. Moreover, its quality was far superior, seemingly beyond just the golden core realm level. Of course, what caught his eye the most was the blood pool in the center. Lu Qing could feel the blood pool had an immense allure to him. That was a primal desire emanating from deep within his physical body. This is the purification pool of our witch clan. The treasure liquid inside is formed by merging true witch essence, a trace of great witch bloodline, and the mystical energy drawn from countless voids by the purification pool. Just absorbing a trace can greatly enhance the potential of your physical body, resulting in unimaginable transformations. However, refining this true essence liquid carries certain risks, as it contains evil chi that can erode the physical body and divine soul. Only those who reach the summit of the Witch Mountain stand a chance to withstand the evil chi within. The mysterious voice echoed once more, explaining the origin of the blood pool. Meanwhile, Lu Qing had already activated the superpower, gazing into the blood pool. After a while, looking at the floating notes in his vision, his heart was set. The information derived from the superpower closely matched what the mysterious voice had said. This indicated that the other party wasn't deceiving him, which greatly reassured him. However, Lu Qing still pretended to be unaware and asked, "Senior, how should this junior receive the baptism?" "You simply need to step into the purification pool, and as for how much true essence liquid you can absorb, that will depend on your own abilities. But let me warn you, Do not be too greedy in refining the true essence liquid, as there are risks involved. Overindulgence can lead to being unable to bear it, ending up with your body exploding and perishing. This junior will heed your teachings. Lu Qing naturally would not ignore such warnings. After respectfully bowing to the surrounding void, he slowly walked into the blood pool, sat cross-legged, and began to absorb and refine the true essence treasure liquid within the pool. Of course, he didn't start with excessive refinement. Although his body instinctively craved it, he cautiously controlled his heart and spirit, initially absorbing only a wisp of the true essence treasure liquid into his body. As he absorbed this wisp of true essence treasure liquid, his physical body underwent dramatic changes. It almost didn't require his refinement. The true essence treasure liquid immediately dispersed, merging into his physical body, being greedily absorbed by his body. Simultaneously, the evil qi contained within the treasure liquid exploded. The fierce evil qi erupted, even causing Lu Qing's body to tremble. The evil qi within this essence liquid is far stronger than the primordial blood inside the Golden Core Realm mutant beast. If his physical body were not strong enough, his forehead acupoint not solid like iron armor, and his divine soul power not robust enough, fear that just this outburst would be unbearable. Just a trace of evil qi from the essence liquid is so fierce. No wonder only those who reach the pinnacle of Bone Mountain are qualified to enter the purification pool. If they can't even withstand the attacks of the evil beasts at the summit of Bone Mountain, absorbing and refining this essence liquid would be a dead end. Feeling the fierce evil qi erupting within him, Lu Qing gained an insight. The Witch Clan set the trial standards of the essence purification pool so high not only to motivate their people but also to protect them. This experience gave him a solid understanding of the dangers of the essence liquid. Immediately, Lu Qing no longer hesitated and began the absorption and refinement formally. His physical body also madly enhanced again, initiating a new round of transformation. I wonder how much essence liquid this little guy can absorb. The mysterious entity in the shadows, watching Lu Qing sitting in the purification pool, felt a surge of anticipation. Even those who reach the summit of Witch Mountain have differences in strength. This difference lies in how much essence liquid they can absorb and refine. The more essence liquid absorbed, the greater the potential. Future achievements as a Great Witch will allow a further journey on the path of the Great Witch. Moreover, this little guy is condensing a perfect golden core. Recalling the evaluations of the perfect golden core by the great entity who created this space, it increased expectations for Lu Qing's future performance. While Lu Qing was fully focusing on refining the essence liquid, the powerful ones below Bone Mountain exchanged glances. Since Lu Qing had climbed up to the 25th vertebra, he had already entered the clouds above. They could no longer see his figure. Now, a long time had passed, with no movement from above and Lu Qing not coming down. He hasn't moved for so long. Has he reached the top? Could he have succumbed to the pressure and evil qi, dying up there? Do you think it's possible? With his strength, even if he couldn't withstand it, retreating wouldn't be a problem. I reckon he has already reached the summit. Perhaps he has already obtained the great opportunity. Indeed, if even he couldn't pass the test, I can't fathom who else could obtain this opportunity. Just wait. Maybe in a bit, we will know the situation. Amidst the discussions among the powerful ones, suddenly, Ba Tian and Shun Songfeng, along with the Daoshu Temple Taoist in the Star Taoist robe and the Biluo Palace Fairy, all looked startled. Soon, other late Golden Core Realm powers also noticed something, collectively glancing underground. What's happening? It seems like something is coming out of the ground. Not good, quickly dodge. One powerful being's expression changed drastically, shouted loudly. But before he could finish speaking, suddenly, the ground in their area split open, massive amounts of white light surged out, rushing toward them. In an instant, blood splattering. Why is this little guy's essence liquid absorption efficiency so low? In the mysterious space, the mysterious entity watched Lu Qing, who was still sitting in the blood pool absorbing and refining the essence liquid, surprised. since it saw that Lu Qing's pace in absorbing and refining the essence liquid was far slower than expected. Not like the efficiency that a physical body expert of his level should possess. Perplexed, the mysterious entity observed a little longer, finally spotting a thread of clues. This little guy seems to be relying solely on physical body instinct to absorb and refine the essence liquid. Could it be he hasn't cultivated any decent body refining techniques? The mysterious entity was genuinely surprised. It initially thought Lu Qing, having refined his physical body to this extent in the Golden Core realm, surely must have trained under some incredible body refining techniques. After all, the Taoist lineage had numerous potent body refining techniques back then. For instance, the Great Sun Buddha body and the Nine Turns Dark Skill body, when cultivated profoundly, were even comparable to the Great Witch body of their witch clan. But now, looking at Lu Qing, he appears not to have trained under those level body refining techniques. Without cultivating profound body refining techniques, how did this little guy hone his physical body to this level? The mysterious entity was stunned, pondering, finally arriving at a decision. Little guy, relying solely on your body's instinct to refine and absorb the essence liquid results in very low efficiency, which may waste your body's potential. The mysterious voice appeared in Lu Qing's mind, compelling him to stop refining the essence liquid and open his eyes. What does senior mean? Fine, since you have passed the highest level trial, this thing would be given to you sooner or later. Having it early makes no difference. As the mysterious voice just ended, an ancient stone slab exuding an indescribable aura appeared before Lu Qing. On this stone slab remains a legacy from the owner who created this space. You may comprehend it, but how much you can grasp depends on your own fate. The inheritance left by the existence that created the secret realm? Lu Qing looked at the stone slab before him, filled with delight. He couldn't fathom the realm of the existence capable of creating this secret realm. But it's known that it must be an unimaginably grand existence. And the inheritance it left behind must be extraordinary. Senior, I'm not of your witch clan. Can I also cultivate this inheritance? Lu Qing inquired. He, the master of this space, before leaving, set the rule that any living creature that can reach the summit of which mountain can enter the purification pool of true essence for baptism and qualify to comprehend the inheritance stone slab left by him. Since you've passed the trial, there's naturally no issue. Moreover, although that great being was originally from the witch clan, he later broke away from them. So the rules of the witch clan couldn't bind him, and his inheritance can naturally be passed to whomever he wishes. The mysterious entity chuckled. He actually broke away from the witch clan? Hearing this, Lu Qing immediately understood that there might be many hidden truths in this. But seeing that the entity in the shadows didn't intend to elaborate, he wisely didn't ask further. He simply focused his attention on the stone slab in front of him. Feel free to comprehend it, the mysterious voice rang out again. But I must tell you in advance, this inheritance is not easy to fathom. In the past, some unrivaled prodigies of our witch clan have tried to comprehend this inheritance, but few managed to cultivate it. And none have ever cultivated it to the Great Witch realm. Of course, the realms of the true Witch and Great Witch are still far beyond your reach. If you can just initiate this inheritance, you can greatly enhance your speed in refining the essence liquid and fully absorb its essence. While the mysterious voice spoke, Lu Qing had already picked up the stone slab in his hand and activated his superpower, carefully observing it. This stone slab was 1 foot wide, 3 feet long, with an inexplicable aura, very ancient, and its material was unknown. There wasn't any powerful force, and Lu Qing could easily hold it in his hand. Its surface was uneven, carved with the patterns of 18 peculiar mutant beasts. After observing for a while, lasting more than a moment, words of information floated into his vision. Inheritance stone slab. An inheritance stone slab left by an ancient existence. This slab is made of chaos stone mud, capable of withstanding countless eons without degradation. Chaos stone mud is a rare exotic treasure derived from the world's beginning. Inheritance discovered. Proceed to download. The introduction about the slab didn't surprise Lu Qing. He could intuitively know the slab was inevitably no ordinary item. What he cared about most was the last piece of information from the note. Seeing the prompt in the note, he unhesitatingly chose to download. Downloading current progress 1%, 2%, 3%, 98%, 99%, 100%. Download complete. Proceed to simulate. Lu Qing chose to simulate. Simulating current progress 1%, 2%, 3%, 98%, 99%, 100%. Simulation complete. Proceed to learn. Seeing the superpower prompt indicate that the simulation was complete, Lu Qing opted for direct learning. In the next moment, he felt a flood of comprehension information surging in the depths of his mind. I have observed the various innate tribulation beasts and evil beasts in the world, comprehending the changes within them, and the interactions with the energies of tribulation, ultimately creating this undying heavenly witch body. A grand voice echoed in Lu Qing's mind. His heart and spirit experienced transformations, appearing in a mysterious space. Indeed, any inheritance of an exceptionally profound nature would be simulated into a heritage space by the superpower. Lu Qing didn't panic. After all, he had experienced similar situations countless times while comprehending sky-breaking sword chi and 7-star sword array. He observed himself, realizing he had become a peculiar mutant beast. Its form felt somewhat familiar to him. Soon, Lu Qing recalled that it was indeed the shape of the first mutant beast carved onto the ancient stone slab. So the inheritance on the slab is actually contained in those 18 peculiar beasts? A realization dawned in Lu Qing's heart. He also recalled the grand voice he had heard in his mind. Could it be that the 18 beasts on the ancient slab were the so-called innate tribulation beasts and evil beasts? While Lu Qing was contemplating this, he was soon interrupted by a roar. The mutant beast he was attached to suddenly growled at the sky. In the next moment, large clusters of clouds suddenly gathered, forming a vortex with lightning flashing inside. Is this a heavenly tribulation? Lu Qing was startled. Though the vortex above was gray, the power it emitted told him it was undoubtedly a heavenly tribulation. Was the mutant beast he was possessing going through the tribulation? Just as Lu Qing was thinking this, something even more astonishing happened. The mutant beast he was inhabiting suddenly opened its mouth wide and took a deep breath at the tribulation cloud in the heavens. Soon after, a bolt of tribulation thunder struck down, landing into its mouth, and was swallowed by it. Swallowing tribulation thunder? Seeing the mutant beast smack its lips, seemingly savoring the tribulation thunder's flavor, Lu Qing was nearly genuinely shocked this time. Just then, a mysterious path diagram appeared in his mind. At first, he was confused, but soon realized it was the power circulation route within the mutant beast's body. Then he felt the tribulation thunder's force, which the mutant beast had just swallowed, traveling through that diagram, swiftly transformed into pure energy, merging into its body. Swallowing tribulation thunder to strengthen itself? Lu Qing was a bit stunned. Can this little guy comprehend the cultivation technique left by that being? In the mysterious space, the entity in the shadows observed Lu Qing holding the slab, eyes closed in contemplation, yet dared not be certain. The one who created this space was exceedingly grand. Originally from the Witch Clan, he was at one point expelled from the clan, wandering the stars due to certain affairs. In the end, during his travels through numerous worlds, he had another fortuitous encounter, extracting considerable essence from the Tao lineage. Ultimately, with immense wisdom, he fused various paths, breaking the shackles of the Witch Clan, transcending to an unfathomable realm. Even the Witch Clan could no longer do anything to him. The inheritance left by such a grand existence was naturally exceptional. Although he once said the inheritance within the slab was created pre-ascension, containing only the first half, capable of cultivation up to the Great Witch realm at most. But even the first half, over so many years, countless prodigious descendants of the Witch Clan couldn't cultivate it to the Great Witch realm. It's evident how challenging this inheritance is. Therefore, Despite Lu Qing giving it many surprises today, the mysterious entity still dared not be sure whether he could initiate this inheritance. After all, he wasn't of the witch clan. Time slowly passed in the mysterious entity's wait. Lu Qing held the stone slab all this while, eyes firmly shut. In the mysterious space, no light was visible. Apart from the drifting crimson fog, there was no change. It was uncertain how long had passed when he finally opened his eyes, filled with awe. Undying heavenly witch body. This inheritance truly possesses profound depth, using the cultivation methods of various worldly tribulation beasts as a blueprint to ultimately create a powerful body refining technique. Indeed, at this moment, Lu Qing had completely accepted the cultivation technique on the ancient slab. Furthermore, he had initiated part of its comprehension. It was precisely for this reason that his heart was so shaken, because the inheritance recorded on the slab is overwhelmingly vast and powerful. It had even far exceeded the realm of the primordial spirit. Undying heavenly witch body. That is the full name of this inheritance. Undying heavenly witch body. This is the inheritance recorded on the ancient stone slab. It is the supreme body refining technique that an ancient existence realized after observing myriad innate tribulation beasts and evil beasts in ancient times. Undying through myriad tribulations, it embodies the intent of enduring endless trials without perishing. More importantly, although this technique was created by a great power of the witch clan, Lu Qing saw traces of the cultivation method of the Dao lineage within. Clearly, this is not purely a witch clan cultivation technique, but one created by that ancient existence by merging strengths from various schools. Therefore, even someone like him from the human race can cultivate it. Thinking of this, Lu Qing began to silently regulate his breath, while recalling the insights he just gained in the inheritance space. Undying heavenly witch body is divided into 18 realms, each corresponding to a mysterious power operation line diagram. The first 3 realms are foundational realms. Therefore, the first 3 power operation line diagrams mainly focus on refining the foundation. The purpose is to absorb various energies of heaven and earth, refine, and strengthen oneself, and condense the basic heavenly witch body. The subsequent 15 diagrams then step-by-step cultivate and refine the witch body, continuously transforming until the true heavenly witch body is forged, entering the realm of the Great Witch. Just now, he had already completely mastered the first 3 diagrams in the inheritance space. He can begin formally cultivating this supreme technique. This little fellow has awoken. Could it be he's had some enlightenment? The mysterious entity in the dark saw Lu Qing open his eyes and was slightly moved. Then it saw Lu Qing suddenly pose a posture in the blood pool, emanating a mysterious aura from his body. Immediately, the treasure liquid of true essence in the blood pool was ceaselessly absorbed into his body, quickly refined. His speed was much faster compared to before. He truly had some enlightenment, and by the looks of it has already fully grasped the basics. The mysterious entity was astonished upon seeing this scene. As a guardian of Witch Mountain across countless ages, it had seen numerous witch clan talents come to comprehend the cultivation technique on the ancient stone slab. Naturally, it could immediately tell that the pose Lu Qing assumed was that of the first mutant beast among the 18 depicted on the slab. Coupled with the mysterious aura emanating from Lu Qing and the changes in the blood pool, it was clear that Lu Qing had not only gained some insight into the cultivation technique on the slab, but had completely grasped it to the point of performing it. However, this was simply too fast. You must know that, in the past, the paragons of the witch clan, even the quickest ones, spent over a month to barely grasp the basics. Yet Lu Qing, how long had he taken? It hadn't even been half a day. Is this what that entity referred to as the Dao lineage's realization of the path of laws, possessing extraordinary comprehension, favored by the great Dao? The mysterious entity couldn't help but recall the words spoken by the great entity who created this space. At that time, the entity lamented that cultivators of the Dao lineage pursue the path of laws. The higher the cultivation, the closer the affinity with the great Dao, and the stronger the comprehension. Their witch clan was far inferior in this aspect. At that time, it didn't have a strong impression of these words, But now, seeing Lu Qing, it finally understood the meaning. Lu Qing, of course, was unaware of the mysterious entity's thoughts. He was currently assuming the pose of the first mutant beast on the ancient stone slab, while his mind visualized the first power line diagram. Suddenly, his body produced an unstoppable suction, continuously drawing the treasure liquid of true essence from the blood pool into his body, then operated according to the power line diagram he visualized. Finally, not a single bit was wasted. Everything transformed into the purest essence energy, absorbed by his physical body. No wonder it's a technique left by the great entity who created this space, overwhelmingly domineering, even capable of transforming the evil qi within the treasure liquid of true essence into pure energy to nourish the physical body. Lu Qing marveled, feeling the changes within his body. Previously, he had to carefully refine the treasure liquid of true essence to guard against the evil qi it contained, which could harm the physical body and divine soul. But with this undying heavenly witch body technique, there's no need to worry about evil qi. Mere evil qi is directly transformed into pure energy and absorbed by him. In this way, Lu Qing's efficiency in refining and absorbing the treasure liquid of true essence naturally greatly increased. His physical body enhanced and transformed at an unbelievable speed. Who knows how much time passed? Lu Qing sensed that his absorption speed of the treasure liquid began to slow. He realized that the transformation ability of the first power line diagram had reached its limit. He immediately changed his posture, adopting the second mutant beast's pose, and visualized another power line diagram. Instantly, the treasure liquid of true essence in the blood pool surged again. The mysterious entity was even more astonished seeing this. It hadn't expected that Lu Qing had even mastered the second cultivation technique. Yet what shocked it even more was still to come. As time passed, when the second power line diagram could no longer refine more treasure liquid to further enhance and transform his physical body, Lu Qing adopted the third mutant beast's pose. The third tier of the spell. At this point, the mysterious entity was truly shocked. What kind of monster is this little fellow, mastering all three tiers of the technique in such a short time? Could it be he's going to directly condense the heavenly witch body? The mysterious entity couldn't help but gasp. Even with its innumerable years of life, it was astonished by Lu Qing's terrifying comprehension. In truth, even for such an ancient existence, it hadn't seen such a devilish talent. How does this little fellow's comprehension compare to the most extraordinary of the Dao lineage from ancient times? Even scarier, the mysterious entity couldn't help but recall several terrifying figures. Back then, those few figures, in just a short time, grew from weak cultivators into titans who could contend with the great witches of the Witch Clan. By now, if they hadn't fallen, they might have become even more unimaginable entities. It had originally thought that such fearsome figures as those were never to appear again in later generations. According to the creator of this space, those individuals rapidly rose because they were born with the favor of the Dao lineage. It was unlikely such extraordinary figures would appear again in later times. But now, witnessing Lu Qing cultivating in the blood pool, the mysterious entity faintly sensed this little fellow's devilishness perhaps wasn't inferior to those Dao lineage figures. Time passed amidst the mysterious entity's thoughts. Slowly, the ripples in the blood pool's treasure liquid settled, while Lu Qing, in the pose of the third mutant beast on the stone slab, emanated an increasingly terrifying aura. The mysterious entity realized these were the signs of an impending breakthrough. Unexpectedly, this little fellow is really going to directly condense the heavenly witch body. Feeling the aura of impending breakthrough emanating from Lu Qing, the mysterious existence was utterly shocked. How long had it been since it had given the inheritance slate to Lu Qing? Not only had he completely comprehended the first 3 levels of the cultivation technique, but now he was even about to directly condense the heavenly witch body. Such an innate talent and comprehension ability were truly defying the heavens. Having lived for countless millennia and seen countless geniuses, it couldn't help but be a bit dumbfounded. And Lu Qing, who was being watched by the mysterious existence, had also reached the most critical moment. After absorbing and refining a large amount of treasure liquid, His physical body had once again transformed to an extreme, just one step away from completely transforming to another unimaginable level. However, this step was not so easy to take. Lu Qing recalled the various cultivation essentials from the undying heavenly witch body. With a superpower at his disposal, he had long since completely comprehended and mastered the first 3 levels of this supreme technique. Naturally, he understood the state he was in now. Immediately, his body shifted, reverting his posture to mimic the first mutant beast on the slate, followed by the second, and then the third. In this way, Lu Qing continuously repeated the postures of the first 3 mutant beasts on the slate, while also visualizing the first 3 power line diagrams in his mind. Finally, slowly, the 3 power line diagrams that Lu Qing visualized began to merge, eventually forming a more complete power line diagram, which was the 4th power line diagram in the undying heavenly witch body inheritance. And Lu Qing, at this moment, assumed the posture of the 4th mutant beast on the ancient slate. Boom! Just as Lu Qing assumed the posture of the 4th mutant beast, he finally crossed a certain critical point. A large amount of treasure liquid was devoured by him like a whale. The aura on his body surged wildly, and more importantly, a revolutionary transformation was underway inside him. This transformation involved not merely an increase in power but a profound leap in the essence of life. Is he about to break through? The mysterious presence in the shadows felt the aura emanating from Lu Qing and instantly understood that this young fellow had taken the most crucial step and was about to truly condense the heavenly witch body. After a long while, the turbulence in the blood pool gradually calmed down. Lu Qing then opened his eyes, a radiant glow flowing within them, akin to the vast blue sky above the 9 heavens, clear yet indifferent, holding an inhuman quality. However, he quickly suppressed this indifference, letting emotions return to his eyes. He assessed his current condition. He felt his chi blood surge vigorously, like an abyss or a prison. With just a slight movement, it resembled roaring ocean waves, shaking the surroundings. His power had reached an inconceivable level. Lu Qing estimated that with the current strength of his physical body, if he were to climb Bone Mountain again, he wouldn't need to merge the magic power golden core with his physical body but could reach the summit effortlessly. The 3 golden core late-stage mutant beasts outside the ancient tower could be subdued with one hand. Of course, power was secondary. The most crucial part is that, having now condensed the heavenly witch body, the vitality within his physical body had reached an unbelievable extent. Every inch of his flesh and bones was filled with a majestic vitality. I fear the vitality within me now already surpasses that of the dragon turtle senior from my hometown world. Lu Qing couldn't help but exclaim. The old dragon turtle from his hometown world was once a primordial spirit realm powerhouse. Although its realm hadn't fully recovered when Lu Qing left, its physical body was still strong enough to crush all living creatures in his hometown world. Moreover, its massive body held an almost unimaginable strength of vitality. Compared to the old dragon turtle, Lu Qing's body was smaller by thousands of times. Yet his internal vitality surpassed it. It's conceivable how terrifying the vitality within him had become. Lu Qing estimated that with his current vitality, if he were beheaded, he probably wouldn't die. Regenerating from severed limbs would be a trivial matter. It's worth noting that limb regeneration is typically a capability possessed only by primordial spirit great powers. In terms of sheer vitality, Lu Qing now was probably even stronger than the vast majority of primordial spirit initial realm powerhouse. The Witch Clan truly deserves its reputation as a race that specializes in cultivating the physical body. Once the heavenly witch body is formed, with my current vitality, even a primordial spirit great power would find it hard to kill me quickly. According to the inheritance records, the cultivation of the Witch Clan also had tiers, divided into Gold Witch, True Witch, Great Witch, and Ancestor Witch. Now that Lu Qing's witch body had just formed, it was at the Gold Witch level, which corresponds to the golden core realm of the Taoist lineage. However, due to the continuous supply of true essence treasure liquid in the blood pool, combined with the profundity of the undying heavenly witch body, Lu Qing had directly cultivated to the realm of Gold Witch small success. Moreover, due to the strength of the heavenly witch body, even without using magic power golden core or magical treasures, relying solely on the power of the physical body, he likely wouldn't lose to absolute geniuses like Ba Tian and Shen Songfeng. My magic power golden core is a perfect golden core. Now that this heavenly witch body is formed, even my physical body can be called a perfect physical body. With both a perfect golden core and perfect physical body, even Lu Qing himself wasn't sure what level his strength had reached now. Even though his magic power golden core and physical body were still in the golden core realm, his true combat prowess was such that even a practitioner who had condensed a flawless innate top-grade golden core 9th Revolution, would likely find it difficult to rival him. After marveling at his achievement for a while, Lu Qing leaped out from the blood pool. With a light shake, his body was immediately as clean as before, without a trace of bloodstain. After condensing the heavenly witch body, the effect of the treasure liquid in the blood pool on him significantly diminished. He could no longer rapidly enhance his cultivation. To have condensed the heavenly witch body in one go and, from the looks of your aura, reached the realm of gold which small success. Young one, you really are surprising. The mysterious voice sounded again. It was merely a stroke of luck. Without the aid of the treasure liquid in this purification pool, I couldn't have condensed the witch body so quickly, Lu Qing responded modestly. However, he was speaking the truth. Although he possessed a superpower, allowing him to comprehend cultivation techniques at a pace beyond imagination, condensing the heavenly witch body requires a massive amount of energy and life essence. Only because he was in the blood pool now with a large supply of treasure liquid available for refinement. Otherwise, who knows how much more time it would have taken to reach this point. Even so, in ancient times, some geniuses from my witch clan also came here to comprehend this technique, yet their speed of understanding couldn't compare to yours. Even with the true essence liquid, they found it difficult to condense the heavenly witch body in such a short time. It's said that the geniuses from your Taoist line are unparalleled in comprehension, and today I have truly witnessed that. The mysterious presence remarked in awe. Lu Qing merely smiled, uncertain of how to respond. After all, he hadn't experienced the ancient times, so there was nothing he could say about it. Therefore, he just asked, "Senior, may I know where my spiritual pet is now? Are you referring to that little spiritual beast? That little fellow is not bad. It's currently sleeping in the initial purification pool and should take some time to awaken," the mysterious presence replied. "Is little Li sleeping?" Lu Qing pondered for a moment. Then, "Senior, may I continue to cultivate here while waiting for little Li to awaken?" Of course, the owner of this space didn't set any time limits back then, so you can train here until the space closes, the mysterious presence said. Upon hearing this, Lu Qing felt a stir in his heart. "Then, may I ask, Senior, how long will this secret realm remain open?" This space appears once every 10,000 years, with the location differing each time. Every time it appears, it stays open for 1 year. After 1 year, the exit of the space will reappear, so you don't need to worry about the time. 1 year, huh? Lu Qing contemplated for a bit. "Thank you, Senior. Now I have a rough idea of things." Lu Qing still had many questions in his heart, but now wasn't the time to get tangled up in them. Moreover, hearing that the exit would appear after a year reassured him. At least then, Qin Zhang and Yi Qingzhu wouldn't have to worry about leaving. With his mind at ease, Lu Qing once again sat down cross-legged, ready to cultivate. However, this time he wasn't practicing the undying heavenly witch body. Instead, he activated his superpower, entering a state of sudden enlightenment. This time, he planned to seize the opportunity to completely deduce the later stages of spells in the perfect golden core skill. Damn, what the hell is this monster? Why can't it be killed completely? Ba Tian casually threw a punch, shattering the last piece of white light that assaulted him. As the white light broke, countless mantis-like mutant beast corpses fell from midair. But Ba Tian didn't feel smug about his achievement. Instead, he cursed, because during this round of attack, one of his clan members was inadvertently besieged by these mantis mutant beasts and died on the spot. Looking at the mangled corpse of his clan member, Ba Tian's face was extremely grim. If they were outside, these mantis mutant beasts, which were only at the initial Golden Core realm, wouldn't be a threat to them at all. A random mana shock could have wiped them out in large numbers. Yet, in this strange space, there's no spiritual energy, and the laws are bizarre. Their Taoist skills and magical treasures were greatly weakened. Apart from those laid in the Golden Core realm, others in the Golden Core realm found it rather difficult to face the numerous mantis mutant beasts. A moment of carelessness, getting besieged, could likely lead to a tragic end. Even a tiger loses its majesty when it falls to the plains, and Ba Tian wasn't afraid of these mantis mutant beasts. But in this strange space, even he couldn't constantly activate his magical treasures to protect his clan members. If he did, even with his foundation, he would be unable to sustain it. Raising his head again to glance at the towering Bone Mountain, Ba Tian's expression turned unpredictable. The mysterious young man had already disappeared for nearly half a month and still hasn't appeared. I wonder if he died up there or passed the trial and was teleported elsewhere. Is it worth waiting here patiently after all? Brother Ba Tian, these mantis mutant beasts are becoming more irritable. Waiting here isn't a solution. We might as well leave and come back later. Regardless, if that person comes out, they'll surely exit through the ancient tower. At this time, Shun Songfeng walked over from not far away and said slowly, and around him were many broken limbs and bodies, remaining from when these mantis mutant beasts charged out unexpectedly, catching some relatively weaker Golden Core realm cultivators off guard and leading to dismemberment. Because of this, many Golden Core realm cultivators initially guarding below the Bone Mountain had already withdrawn from this space. Only the most powerful forces remained, confident in their strength, still staying in this place. But as these mantis mutant beasts became increasingly mad, even they were finding it hard to endure. Ba Tian glanced at the corpse of his clan member, pondered for a moment and nodded. All right, staying here with these beasts is pointless. Let's withdraw for now. Seeing the Overlord clan and Heavenly Sword sect people leaving, the Daoshu Temple Taoist wearing a star Taoist robe looked at a cold woman in a veil nearby. Fairy Luo, Ba Tian and Shun Songfeng have left. Should we continue waiting here? The cold-veiled woman looked up at the Bone Mountain that remained calm and steady, without a sign of movement. After contemplating for a while, she finally said, "Forget it, let's leave for now. Otherwise, when another wave of mantis mutant beasts arrives, it won't be easy to handle." Ultimately, a group of confident, strong cultivators left this strange space with nothing gained, filled with reluctance. Regarding these matters, Lu Qing naturally knew nothing. The mysterious presence could perceive all this, yet from its perspective, why would it care about ants who couldn't even climb Bone Mountain? It was even more indifferent to their life and death, so it didn't concern itself with their comings and goings. At this moment, its attention was entirely focused on Lu Qing. What is this little one comprehending? The aura around him seems interesting. Looking at Lu Qing seated cross-legged, with a row of jade scrolls before him, the mysterious presence found it intriguing. It could discern that Lu Qing was not cultivating the undying heavenly witch body at the moment, but was contemplating other cultivation techniques. But as to what specifically, it couldn't make out. Finally deduced the 9th transition. Lu Qing slowly opened his eyes, a hint of fatigue in them, but his mood was jubilant. During this time of continuous deduction, using several dozen Golden Core level cultivation techniques as nourishment, and even drawing some inspiration from the undying heavenly witch body, he not only completely deduced the perfect Golden Core skill's 7th transition but also deduced the spells for the 8th and 9th transitions. For quite some time ahead, at least, he wouldn't need to worry about the cultivation technique anymore. Yet, this has reached its limit. Wanting to deduce spells beyond the 9th transition with just Golden Core level techniques is probably insufficient. 9 transitions of Golden Core is the limit for ordinary cultivators at the Golden Core realm, but it's not Lu Qing's limit. According to the Taoist chapter's records, the highest realm of the perfect Golden Core is 12 transitions. But after deducing the perfect Golden Core skill to the 9th transition, Lu Qing already felt that the Golden Core level cultivation techniques could no longer provide him with much inspiration. After all, the highest tier of ordinary Golden Core level techniques only reaches the 9th transition. To deduce the final 3 transitions of the perfect Golden Core skill, he needs more advanced techniques for reference. Primordial Spirit Realm techniques then. Thinking of this, Lu Qing felt a bit of a headache. Primordial Spirit great powers are not easy to deal with. Even with his current strength, he couldn't confidently say he could contend with a Primordial Spirit Initial Realm great power. Primordial Spirit level techniques are mostly collected by powerful forces. Even if occasionally rumored to be outside, obtained by others, it would surely remain a secret, never to be revealed. Wanting to gather Primordial Spirit level techniques, and not just a few, is far from easy. Forget it, once the ship reaches the bridge, it will naturally straighten out. Focusing on improving strength is more important now. Lu Qing pondered for a while, unable to find a way, and decided not to dwell on it. Now that he had deduced perfect Golden Core skill to the 9th transition, cultivation techniques temporarily couldn't shackle him. Coupled with the fact that no one disturbs him here, it's an excellent place for seclusion. It can be said that this is the best opportunity for him to advance his cultivation. Senior, may I ask how much longer Little Li will take to wake up? Lu Qing suddenly asked. This can't be predicted. It depends on when that little thing can complete its transformation and refine the witch body, replied the mysterious presence. If Little Li wakes up ahead of time, could I ask Senior to look after him for a while? I intend to meditate in seclusion for some time. That's doable, but didn't you just condense the heavenly witch body? Are you preparing to seclude again? The mysterious presence asked with some surprise. Indeed. I've been stuck at the 5 transitions Golden Core realm for some time. It's time to improve my cultivation. Saying this, Lu Qing casually scattered a handful of middle-grade spirit stones, precisely arranging a spirit-gathering array on the ground. Following the urging of his heart and mind, a vast spiritual charm flowed from the spirit stones, gathering towards him. Swish! In a certain mountain valley, Yi Qingzhu wielded her long sword and beheaded a Golden Core Initial Realm mutant beast. As the vitality of the Golden Core level beast gradually dissipated, Yi Qingzhu let out a long breath, and sweat started to form on her forehead. Senior Sister Yi, we did it! Chu Shaoqing and other disciples of the Chenkuin sect gathered around, their faces filled with joy. Earlier, they had been assisting continuously from the sidelines, exhausting the beast. This allowed Yi Qingzhu to find the opportunity for a single lethal strike, beheading the Golden Core level beast. Well done. Your skills have improved significantly since you first entered the secret realm. At this time, Qin Zheng also walked over, smiling. He hadn't made a move earlier, only staying on the sidelines to provide backup. Seeing his junior brothers and sisters able to surround and kill a Golden Core level beast without his help made him feel gratified. If it had been when they first entered the secret realm, without his protection, his junior brothers and sisters wouldn't have stood a chance against this Golden Core level beast. How could they have surrounded and killed it like now? This shows that after this period of training in the secret realm, the skills of his junior brothers and sisters have greatly improved. We also have to thank Mr. Chan for letting us know about that opportunity, which has significantly enhanced our skills. Zixiao couldn't help but exclaim. Upon hearing this, everyone else also nodded in agreement. Since Lu Qing told them about that opportunity, they had been hunting mutant beasts in the secret realm, refining their bloodlines. By now, each of them has absorbed the Foundation Establishment level exotic beast bloodline to the limit. Their physical bodies have been greatly enhanced, and their skills have improved considerably. So everyone is very grateful to Lu Qing. After all, that opportunity has been a considerable help to all of them, giving them more confidence to survive in the secret realm. It's almost a year now, and we still don't know how Brother Chen is doing. Those people say he climbed some bone mountain and then disappeared. Where exactly did he go? When mentioning Lu Qing, Chu Shaoqing suddenly started worrying. Upon hearing this, everyone fell silent. They had been in the secret realm for almost a year now. Those strong individuals who ventured into the ancient tower had long retreated. From some of the strong ones who had good relations with their Chenkuan sect, Qin Zhang and the others learned about what happened inside the ancient tower space that day. They knew that after Lu Qing climbed a mysterious bone mountain, he disappeared without a trace. Some say that Lu Qing might have passed the ancient tower's test and gained a great opportunity. Others say he couldn't withstand the dangers of that mysterious bone mountain and perished. In short, there are many speculations and countless theories. But the only certainty is that since then, Lu Qing indeed hasn't been seen. Until now, almost a year has passed, and he hasn't appeared again. You don't need to worry too much. Mr. Chen's skills are unfathomable. What we saw before was just the tip of the iceberg. With his skills, even this secret realm would surely pose no challenge to him. Seeing the worry on the faces of his junior brothers and sisters, Qin Zhang couldn't help but comfort them. Yes, Mr. Chen must have passed the test. He might even be receiving that opportunity from the ancient tower right now, Zishao also said at this time. That's right. Brother Chen is so powerful. How could he possibly be troubled by that little bone mountain? Chu Shaoqing, as if encouraging herself, also clenched her fists and said, It seems you all have great confidence in that Chen fellow. You just don't want to believe he has perished on that bone mountain. Just then, a voice suddenly came from outside the valley, causing the Chenkuan sect disciples' expressions to change. Immediately, a group of people walked into the valley. Gong Shuyu, what are you doing here again? Chu Shaoqing, upon recognizing the person, shouted immediately. Ever since senior brother Zhao Gang's death, she never had a good opinion of the people from the Gongshu family. Indeed, the group that entered was none other than Gong Shuyu and members of the Gongshu family. Xiao Jing. Qin Zhang stopped Chu Shaoqing and looked at Gong Shuyu and the others. It's been a while. May I ask what brings young master you here again? It certainly has been a while. Since we parted last time, almost a year has passed. Brother Qin Zhang seems to have been avoiding us. Despite us once being allies, Brother Qin Zhang's actions have left me quite disheartened. Gong Shuyu, holding a jade fan, with a graceful demeanor, smiled as he said this. On hearing this, the Chenkuan sect disciples' expressions changed. A few with straightforward temperaments almost wanted to curse the other party for their shamelessness. But at this moment, Qin Zhang waved his hand to stop his junior brothers and sisters from acting impulsively. With an unchanged expression, he said, Young master you're joking. This secret realm is too perilous. I Qin have limited strength. In order to preserve the junior disciples, I've had to head towards this secluded place. What talk is there of evasion? But the next words spoken by Gong Shuyu caused his expression to falter slightly. Is that so? Then why have I recently heard that you, Brother Qin Zhang, seem to be hunting mutant beasts everywhere? Seeing the change in Qin Zhang's expression, Gong Shuyu smiled, knowing he had struck the right chord. It seems my guess was correct. That person initially told you the secret of the mutant beasts. Young master you're joking. I don't understand what you're talking about. Qin Zhang's expression returned to calmness as he said flatly. Yet he couldn't help but sigh inwardly. After learning about the secret of the bloodline within the mutant beasts from Lu Qing that day, he led his junior disciples to secretly hunt the mutant beasts in the dense forest to extract the bloodline. Later, after refining the bloodline, they discovered that its effects were just as Lu Qing had said, greatly enhancing their physical bodies, which delighted them immensely. Then, after some time had passed, those strong experts who had entered the tower returned, and Qin Zhang inquired about the events within the tower space. Immediately, he initially decided to lead the junior disciples and the 5 treasures Taoist away from that dense forest to hide in the secluded areas of the secret realm. The purpose was naturally to avoid the eyes and ears of other forces and quietly digest this opportunity. But it now seems, though they were cautious enough, they still attracted others' attention. However, what he didn't expect was that the first ones to come knocking were people from the Gongshu family. Brother Qin, there's no need to rush to deny it. That person's mad hunt of the mutant beasts that day was witnessed by countless experts, and as he was closely related to you, I assume he had already informed you of the mutant beast's secret before entering the ancient tower, hadn't he? Gong Shuyu, although asking, spoke with utter certainty. Clearly, he had already determined that Qin Zhang and the others knew the secret of the mutant beasts. What if I indeed did not know? Qin Zhang replied flatly. Then Brother Qin would be too disappointing to me. We are allies, yet you want to claim the opportunity for yourself. That's simply unreasonable, isn't it? Seeing that Qin Zhang was unfazed, Gong Shu Yu's smile faded away. The members of his clan behind him suddenly emitted a chilling killing intent. Young Master Yu, what do you mean by this? Seeing this, Qin Zhang's expression also turned cold. Before he could give any orders, Yi Qingzhu and the others behind him had already formed a formation, staring tightly at Gong Shu Yu and his group. Qin Zhang, there's no need for this now. After so long, the secret of the mutant beasts must have already benefited you significantly. Even if you reveal it now, it doesn't harm you. Why, then, must you sacrifice your junior disciples' lives over this? Facing the formation set by Yi Qingzhu and the others, Gong Shu Yu still spoke with calm and composure. If anyone else were to ask, I would say it. But the gruesome deaths of my junior brother Zhao Gang and others are still fresh in my mind. Gong Shu Yu, do you really think I would tell you this secret? At this moment, Qin Zhang no longer held back, finally calling Gong Shu Yu by his name directly. Does this mean there's really no room for negotiation? Gong Shu Yu folded the jade fan in his hand. If you want to fight, then let's fight. Qin Zhang's aura gradually spread. I also wish to experience the Gong Shu family's ultimate skills. Seeing that Qin Zhang actually intended to fight them, Gong Shu Yu's expression faltered instead. He did not expect that Qin Zhang, who had always prioritized his junior disciple's safety, would suddenly become so uncompromising. This, in turn, made him a bit wary, uncertain whether the other side truly wanted a desperate fight or had some support. For a while, he became somewhat hesitant. Just as Gong Shu Yu's expression wavered, suddenly the ground trembled. Everyone felt unsteady underfoot. Immediately after, the entire world began to shake. What's happening? What's going on? Could it be an ambush set by the Chenkuan sect? Amidst the panic, the next moment, they all seemed to sense something and suddenly looked up, gazing above their heads. Then their mouths involuntarily gaped open. Above in the sky, a spatial vortex was slowly emerging. At the same time, an insight appeared in everyone's mind. Instantly, they understood the situation. This secret realm was about to close. The secret realm is closing? And it's closing within an hour. We can finally get out? Upon seeing the space vortex above the sky, and the information that suddenly appeared in their minds, the disciples of the Chenkuan sect and members of the Gongsu family were first taken aback. Then all showed expressions of ecstatic joy. For the past year, they had tried every method and were unable to find a way out. Unexpectedly, now that the secret realm is about to close, it voluntarily wants to let them out. Ha ha ha! Gong Shu Yu, it seems the heavens are not on your side. Now that the secret realm is about to close, even if I tell you the secret of the mutant beasts, you probably don't have the time to hunt them anymore. What now? Do you still want to fight us? Qin Zhang suddenly laughed heartily at this moment. Gong Shu Yu's face suddenly became unsightly. But he knew that Qin Zhang was right. The secret realm is closing within an hour. Even if he knew the secret of the mutant beasts, it was too late to hunt them. Looking at Qin Zhang's smile, Gong Shu Yu found it particularly glaring. He had an impulse to order the complete annihilation of these Chenkuan sect disciples right now. But in the end, with great determination, he suppressed this impulse. Qin Zhang is no weakling. His cultivation is only a notch below his. If they were to fight, even if he could kill them all, his side would undoubtedly suffer significant losses, and it would likely result in a Pyrrhic victory. And after a battle, whether they have the strength to leave the secret realm is another matter. After all, in this strange secret realm, flying consumes a lot of energy. Most importantly, if they engaged in a battle, even if they won, there would be no benefit to gain. Having thought this through, Gong Shu Yu finally suppressed the desire to kill in his heart. With a cold snort, he turned and left. Let's go! Seeing Gong Shuyu and the others leave and their figures completely disappear, only then did Qin Zheng let out a sigh of relief. If possible, he certainly didn't want to go to war with them. Although over the past year, after refining exotic beast bloodlines, their strength had improved considerably. But if they fought with Gong Shuyu and his people, it would likely result in mutual destruction. Now that the other side is willing to retreat, it's naturally the best outcome for him. Second senior brother, what should we do now? Yi Qingzhu asked. First, rest for a while and adjust our state to the best condition. Then prepare to leave this secret realm, Qin Zheng said without hesitation. According to the information just received, the secret realm will completely close in at most an hour, so they don't have much time to waste. Otherwise, they might be trapped here forever. Chu Shaoqing was a bit anxious. But, Brother Chen, since we can all sense the warning of the secret realm, surely Mr. Chen can too. If he is still in the secret realm, he will inevitably get this message, Qin Zheng said. Indeed, with Mr. Chen's strength, leaving the secret realm is quite easy. Instead, if we don't conserve energy, we might not be able to fly to the space vortex above. Zi Shao also nodded. The others, upon thinking, felt a chill in their hearts. Zi Shao was right. Flying in this secret realm is no simple task, and the higher they go, the more terrifying the mana consumption is. With the height at which the space vortex appears, if they don't take it seriously, they might not be able to reach it. Thinking of this, all the Chenkuan sect disciples couldn't help but become solemn. Understood, second senior brother. Taoist, are you leaving with us? Qin Zheng then turned to look at the Five Treasures Taoist. Naturally, Five Treasures Taoist nodded. Now that he could finally leave, he certainly didn't want to stay here any longer. If that's the case, let's all start resting. While the Chenkuan sect disciples were adjusting their breathing, other strong individuals in the secret realm were also filled with joy, especially the loose cultivators who were incredibly ecstatic. Can we finally get out? I thought I would die in this damned secret realm. After returning, I will immediately retire and never explore a secret realm again. Brother Lu, what a pity. You ultimately didn't last until this day. This past year, life in the secret realm was incredibly torturous for many loose cultivators. Many even died from mutant beast attacks due to depleting their elixirs and spirit stones, with no way to replenish their mana. So, knowing they could finally leave, it was no exaggeration to say that the loose cultivators were overjoyed. Immediately, all the loose cultivators, regardless of everything, rushed madly towards the location of the space vortex. The secret realm will close in an hour? In a certain part of the secret realm, Ba Tian casually slain a mutant beast and then stored it in a space treasure. Oh well, over these days I've managed to collect some beast corpses. Bringing them back for the clan's alchemists to study might unlock some secrets. Ba Tian was still somewhat interested in the potential secrets within the mutant beasts. Especially after witnessing Lu Qing's powerful performance in the ancient tower space, he became even more concerned about it. In his view, with Lu Qing's strength, there must be a reason behind his frenzy in hunting mutant beasts. Unfortunately, the clan members who accompanied him were all trained in combat-oriented techniques and couldn't unlock the secrets within the exotic beasts. Therefore, he planned to kill some mutant beasts and bring them back for the clan's alchemists to research. I wonder whether that person truly perished on Bone Mountain, or if they found fortune. Ba Tian looked towards the direction of the ancient tower. Is this secret realm really closing? In some ruins, the Daoshu Temple Taoist, wearing a star Taoist robe, also looked at the space vortex in the sky. Are we leaving? On another side, Shun Songfeng looked at the space vortex, his eyes showing reluctance. Entering the secret realm this time, he hadn't gained anything significant. After leaving the ancient tower space, he explored other ruins but gained very little. He wasted a whole year, and this made him unwilling to accept it. Alas, just one more step, and I could have broken through this ruin. In an underground ruin, a veiled, cool woman from the Biluo Palace also felt discontent. Half a year ago, they discovered this underground ruin. After laboriously breaking it down, they were on the last step, and now they were informed that the secret realm was closing. Oh well, there's ultimately no fortune for me. The cool woman sighed, finally deciding to leave. Within these ruins, who knows what's inside? In 1 hour, the secret realm will close. If she gets trapped inside after entering, she'll truly never get out. Weighing the options, the cool woman had to make a choice. As the cultivators in the secret realm began to leave one after another, Lu Qing, who was still in closed-door cultivation in the mysterious space, was also awakened by a voice at this time. "Senior, what brings you here?" In the mysterious space, Lu Qing, who was in seclusion to improve his cultivation, was awakened and asked somewhat confusedly. "You little one, you've been cultivating without knowing the time. This space is about to close. If you don't leave now, you'll miss your chance," said the mysterious entity with a laugh. "The secret realm is closing? Has it already been a year?" Lu Qing realized. He sensed his cultivation level and found that after nearly a year of seclusion, he had just broken through to the 7th transition of the Golden Core realm, truly reaching the late stage of the Golden Core level. Even his cultivation of the Heavenly Witch body had stabilized at the small success stage of the Golden Witch realm. The reason his cultivation progressed so quickly: firstly, he had perfected the perfect Golden Core skill to the 9th transition, and the cultivation technique was no longer a shackle for him. Secondly, after forming the Heavenly Witch body, his physical body became nearly perfect, his talent greatly increased, and his efficiency in refining spiritual energy improved significantly. Additionally, he directly used middle-grade spirit stones for cultivation, which allowed him to break through from the 5th to the 7th transition of the Golden Core realm in just 1 year. It's important to note that most Golden Core cultivators wouldn't be so lavish as to continuously use so many middle-grade spirit stones for cultivation. It's a pity. I originally thought to advance my cultivation to the 9th transition before leaving seclusion, but it seems it's time for the secret realm to close already. Well, there aren't many spirit stones left either, so it's time to leave. Given Lu Qing's current foundation, the resources needed for even a slight improvement in cultivation were enormous. This time, just advancing to the 7th transition of the Golden Core realm had consumed almost half of the spirit stones he had on hand. If he wanted to reach the 9th transition in one go, the remaining spirit stones probably wouldn't be enough. Moreover, he also needed to cultivate the undying Heavenly Witch body, a supreme body refining technique that also required a massive amount of energy. His perfect Golden Core was already a gold-consuming beast, and now, adding the cultivation of the undying Heavenly Witch body means that the spirit stones needed for each level of cultivation increase more than exponentially. The few thousand middle-grade spirit stones he had left were not enough to support his future cultivation. "I'm still too poor. Once I get out, I'll need to find a way to earn more spirit stones to continue my seclusion." Lu Qing once thought that over 10,000 middle-grade spirit stones should be more than enough to support his cultivation to the primordial spirit realm. Now it seems far from sufficient. He must earn more spirit stones. With this in mind, Lu Qing asked, "Senior, has Little Li awakened yet? It woke up half a year ago, but I saw you were meditating, so I didn't disturb you. I taught it a basic cultivation technique to ponder over slowly." The mysterious entity laughed. "Junior thanks Senior on behalf of Little Li." Lu Qing didn't expect Little Li to have such a fortunate encounter and immediately expressed his delight and gratitude. Although the entity said it was a basic technique, something from an existence that had lived for unknown eons couldn't possibly be an ordinary technique. "Haha, no need to thank me. I noticed that little creature has some talent. Despite being at the Demon Core level, it possesses divine skills, clearly favored by the heavens. Giving it a little something is just planting a good seed. Since you care about it, I'll teleport it to you." The next moment, with a flash of light, Little Li's figure suddenly appeared in front of Lu Qing. "Ah Qing!" The initially startled Little Li, upon seeing Lu Qing, immediately leaped towards him in joy. "It's all right, we're getting ready to leave. I asked the senior to bring you here." Lu Qing hugged Little Li and gently rubbed its head to calm it down. "We're leaving this secret realm?" Little Li asked. "Yes, the senior said the secret realm is about to close." If we don't leave, we'll have to stay here indefinitely. Although this secret realm was a very safe place for him and an excellent place for seclusion, unfortunately, it lacked spiritual energy, making it unsuitable for cultivators to practice. Moreover, Lu Qing remembered the mysterious entity had previously mentioned that this secret realm only emerged once in a millennium and appeared at different locations each time. If they didn't leave this time, they'd have to stay here for thousands of years, which was something he couldn't accept. Upon hearing they could leave, Little Li was also quite happy. "Senior, how do we leave?" "That's simple. I'll send you out later," the mysterious entity replied. "But before you leave, there are some things I need to explain. First, take this stone token." At that moment, an ancient stone token appeared before Lu Qing out of thin air. Before he could speak, the mysterious entity began explaining directly. "Now that you have formed the heavenly witch body, you can be considered a registered disciple of that great existence. This stone token is the mark for entering this space. Once refined, no matter where you are, you can use it to cross endless distances and teleport back here. No matter where I am, I can teleport to this secret realm at any time." Hearing this, Lu Qing's heart was shaken. He immediately understood the value of this stone token. Having this stone token was equivalent to having a life-saving card available at all times. He also realized just how vast the divine powers of the creator of this secret realm were. "It seems you've realized the purpose of this stone token, but don't rejoice too soon. Our witch clan believes that only in the storm can a witch be forged. Although that great existence parted from the witch clan, they also recognized this truth. Therefore, they set a limit on the stone token. Each stone token can only travel to and from this space 3 times. After 3 uses, the stone token will dissipate, so you must use it carefully. Unless it's a critical situation, don't waste it frivolously." As Lu Qing felt excited, the mysterious entity's words made him momentarily pause. "Only 3 round trips, huh? Indeed, things aren't that easy." Lu Qing gradually calmed down. Even with only 3 trips, this stone token's value was still immeasurable. So after catching the stone token, he solemnly said, "Junior will remember the senior's teachings. All right, I'll prepare to send you out. Little one, cultivate well. If you can reach the great witch realm, perhaps that great existence will summon you." Lu Qing's heart trembled, and he quickly asked, "Senior, where's that great existence now?" "That's beyond my knowledge. Cultivate well, little one. Once your strength reaches a certain point, you'll naturally come into contact with these things. Hopefully, the next time I see you, you've reached the primordial spirit realm." The mysterious entity smiled softly, and before Lu Qing could ask further, a halo appeared, enveloping him and Little Li. The next moment, the person and the beast disappeared from the mysterious space. "Little one, I hope in the future, you can truly master the undying heavenly witch body and continue our witch clan's legacy." A voice lingered in the mysterious space. Simultaneously, in another vast space, Lu Qing, holding Little Li, was also teleported out by spatial power. These ancient beings never make their words clear. It's really a headache. Lu Qing shook his head. He sensed the rich spiritual energy around him and immediately knew that he and Little Li had been transported back to the heavenly origin great world. However, just then, a voice stopped him in his tracks. "Brother Chun!" The voice was very familiar, and Lu Qing recognized it as Chu Xiaoqing's voice. But his first reaction wasn't joy, because he also sensed many powerful gazes on him. Could it be? A bad feeling arose in Lu Qing's heart. He glanced around and indeed saw many powerful figures standing in the air. Chu Xiaoqing, waving excitedly at him, was among them. Beside her were Qin Zhang, Yi Qingzhu, and the others from Purple Heaven. The most striking was a young man with unfathomable aura, like a deep abyss, standing at the forefront. Nearby, a massive space vortex was slowly closing. Indeed, he had been directly transported to the entrance of the Trial Secret Realm, near where the numerous primordial spirit great powers were waiting. The powerful gazes he sensed were precisely from those primordial spirit great powers. "Senior, You've really put me in a tough spot this time. Seeing a group of primordial spirit great powers all staring at him, Lu Qing felt an instant bitterness in his heart. He never expected that mysterious presence in the secret realm would directly teleport him to the vicinity of the secret realm's entrance. The key issue was that he was suddenly teleported out. It happened so fast that he didn't have time to use the perfect Golden Core's ability to change invisibly and disguisedly to conceal his identity. So, upon seeing the gazes of the powerful figures around him, he immediately felt something bad was about to happen. It's that boy. Indeed, he didn't die atop Bone Mountain. I knew it with his strength. How could he fall so easily? He's still alive, which means he really passed the trial of that mysterious Bone Mountain and gained the opportunity? The spatial vortex has already disappeared, and he was the last to come out. Moreover, he appeared out of thin air just now. He must have obtained a great opportunity. As soon as Lu Qing appeared, many strong figures who had emerged from the secret realm recognized him. Immediately, everyone's spirits lifted. Many even transmitted to their respective primordial spirit great powers, recounting Lu Qing's various performances in the secret realm. Additionally, those like Elder Yu from the Lanhai sect, who had a grudge against Lu Qing, wore faces full of hatred as they exaggeratedly complained to their own primordial spirit realm elders. As their disciples narrated, some primordial spirit great powers' eyes began to shine, all directing their gaze toward Lu Qing. Immediately, Lu Qing felt his body become much heavier, and even the surrounding space became stagnant. Clearly, some primordial spirit great powers were secretly suppressing the space around him to prevent him from suddenly escaping. Even worse, powerful divine soul power was entangling him, trying to forcefully probe into his body to check his background. Some of the divine soul power was even probing towards little Li in his arms, obviously with ill intentions. Humph! Lu Qing's expression turned cold, and a fleeting shadow of an ancient tripod flashed around him, shaking off all the divine soul power that attempted to spy on him. Ha! A group of primordial spirit great powers were momentarily stunned. Not only because Lu Qing was able to shake off their primordial spirit power, but also, they didn't expect that a mere Golden Core realm boy would dare to openly resist their probing. In the direction of the Gongsu family, Gong Shuzheng, seeing the fleeting shadow of the ancient tripod on Lu Qing, felt a thought stir, and his gaze deepened. This is bad. Mr. Chen is in trouble. Qin Zheng's expression changed upon seeing this scene. The disciples of the Chenkuan sect like Yi Qingzhu and Zixiao, who had just come out of the secret realm, also felt the same way. Even Chu Shaoqing noticed something amiss. Second senior brother? Are those people going to harm Brother Chen? It's hard to say. Mr. Chen's performance in the secret realm was too dazzling. Many people speculate he obtained a great opportunity. And he also has enmity with disciples from Lanhai sect and Shenyuan sect. Not to mention anything else, these sects are unlikely to let it go. Qin Zhang said solemnly. What should we do, senior brother? Can you help Brother Chen? He has saved us several times and is kind to us, Chu Shaoqing said anxiously. That's right, senior brother. Mr. Chen not only saved junior sister Xiao Jing multiple times, but also helped us a lot in the secret realm. Now that he's in trouble, our Chenkuan sect cannot sit idly by. Qin Zheng also responded, seriously speaking to Chen Lingxiao. If there's anyone here who could lend a hand to Lu Qing, it must be the senior brother among them. As someone who achieved the primordial spirit through an impeccable innate top-grade Golden Core body, although he has only just entered the first tribulation of the primordial spirit, his strength is not inferior to the seasoned first tribulation primordial spirit great powers at their peak. Moreover, he also controls one of the powerful spiritual artifacts within the Chenkuan sect, so even when facing some second tribulation primordial spirits, he can still hold his own. Therefore, senior brother's strength is unquestionably formidable among the many primordial spirit realms present. After all, the forces that came to the Tianshu Divine Mountain this time were mostly first and second tribulation primordial spirit great powers. If senior brother came forward to protect Lu Qing, other primordial spirit great powers would likely show him some respect. Is this young man the Chun Qing you mentioned? Qian Lingxiao looked at Lu Qing, who was still composed even under the watchful eyes of the primordial spirit great powers, with eyes full of interest. Yes, senior brother. Mr. Chun took great care of us in the secret realm and also informed us of an excellent opportunity. Please help him. Qin Zhang pleaded. Yes, senior brother. Please save Mr. Chun. Other Chenkuan sect disciples echoed. Don't be hasty. Observe the changes first before making a move. In response to the requests of his junior brothers and sisters, Qian Lingxiao waved his hand. Qin Zhang became anxious in his heart. But, senior brother. However, before he could finish speaking, Qian Lingxiao stopped him with a wave of his hand. It's not that I'm unwilling to take action, but there are many primordial spirit great powers here. If we are not careful and act rashly, we might offend other forces, bringing great trouble to our Chenkuan sect. This young man, though kind to our Chenkuan sect, must still prioritize the sect's interests above all as the senior brother. Moreover, judging by that young man's demeanor, he seems unperturbed in front of so many primordial spirit great powers. Maybe he has some reliance and can protect himself after all. But Qin Zhang wanted to say more, but suddenly couldn't find a good reason. He knew the senior brother made sense. As a disciple of the Chenkuan sect, everything should prioritize the sect's interests. Given the current situation, if they forcibly come forward, they might become the target of many, causing great trouble for the sect. However, the teachings received from the sect over the years made him feel that if he just stood by and watched Lu Qing fall into danger, it would truly go against his Dao heart. Let's not talk about this for now. Qian Lingxiao spoke again. Did you mention having a conflict with the people of the Gongsu family in the secret realm? Yes, senior brother. Chu Shaoqing promptly replied upon hearing this. You have no idea how shameless the people of the Gongsu family were. It was because they fled the scene that senior brother Zhao Gang and senior brother Wang Ming lost their lives. Chu Shaoqing quickly recounted what happened. After finishing, she said with bitterness, Senior brother Zhao Gang and senior brother Wang Ming died too unjustly. You must seek justice for them. Qian Lingxiao pondered for a moment, then said, I will act appropriately in this matter, but you are not allowed to have further conflicts with the Gongsu family's people without my orders. Understood? Senior brother. Chu Shaoqing wanted to say more, but Yi Qingzhu, standing behind her, tugged her sleeve, suddenly using divine soul transmission to stop her from speaking further. Just then, a soul-shaking shout came from the front. Junior, was it you in the secret realm who plundered my Lanhai sect's disciples and severely injured them? Commanding voice, shocking the divine soul. The one who spoke was a supreme elder of the Lanhai sect in the primordial spirit realm, a tall elder dressed in a sea-blue magic robe. Everyone directed their gaze toward Lu Qing, watching how he would respond, especially those with primordial spirit great power, who had already heard from their disciples about the deeds of Lu Qing within the secret realm. Moreover, he had just dared to disperse their primordial spirit power. For a moment, all the great powers of the primordial spirit were quite interested in him. Indeed, I've become the target of many now. Is this what you meant when you said to become a qualified which one must endure storms, senior? These storms are a bit too violent, though. Feeling the pressure gathering on him, Lu Qing's expression remained unchanged, yet he sighed inwardly. The one in the secret realm, whether intentionally or not, actually transported him right under the eyes of so many in the primordial spirit realm. His original plan to disguise himself and sneak away among the loose cultivators was completely thwarted. Given his various performances in the secret realm, Lu Qing did not even need to think to know what he would face next. Fortunately, Lu Qing's divine soul power delved into the Universe 1 Qi bag, sensing the newly acquired stone token, and upon finding it could be activated, he felt greatly relieved. With this trump card at hand, the current situation was much easier to handle. If things really couldn't be resolved, he could just return to the secret realm. Although returning immediately after exiting would be somewhat embarrassing, compared to life itself, a little dignity was utterly worthless. Little Li, you go into the Universe 1 Qi bag to hide for a bit. Lu Qing did not respond to the primordial spirit realm's words, but instead telepathically instructed little Li before storing it in the Universe 1 Chi bag. Witnessing this scene, many Golden Core realm experts who had ventured into the secret realm showed signs of being affected. Previously, they were solely focused on Lu Qing. Now, seeing little Li disappear, they remembered the astonishing performance of the little spiritual beast on Bone Mountain. Immediately, many began to telepathically communicate with their sect elders. Upon hearing from their disciples that the little spiritual beast might be an extraordinary species with an ancient bloodline, some in the primordial spirit realm had their eyes light up once more. The commanding elder of the Lanhai sect similarly showed interest. Additionally, upon witnessing Lu Qing completely ignoring his question, without even a response, his gaze swiftly became cold. "You dare to be so arrogant, young one. Seems I must teach you a lesson. The Lanhai sect cannot remain unchallenged." As soon as the words fell, a magic power hand was conjured, reaching out towards Lu Qing. When the primordial spirit great power makes a move, it is naturally extraordinary. The moment the magic power hand appeared, it suppressed the surrounding space. Its emitted might causing all below the primordial spirit realm to turn pale. Figures like Qin Zhang and Yi Qingzhu grew incredibly tense, worried for Lu Qing. Eventually, "I must face the primordial spirit realm." Feeling the pressure from the magic power hand, rather than panicking, Lu Qing's heart was filled with a fighting spirit. Wait! Just as Lu Qing prepared to unleash power, to weigh the true strength of the primordial spirit realm, suddenly, another magic giant palm appeared from the side, intercepting the Lanhai sect's supreme elder's attack. Boom! The clash of the two magic giant palms instantly stirred the surrounding spiritual energy into chaos, releasing terrifying power that caused the nearby space to incessantly quake. Swept by the violent spiritual energy fluctuations, Lu Qing's clothes flapped noisily, yet they couldn't budge his form even a fraction. Lu Qing's expression shifted, looking toward the one who intervened. "Ba Chuanxiu, what is the meaning of this?" The Lanhai sect's supreme elder was initially startled, but upon seeing clearly who intervened, his eyes narrowed, speaking with some unease. It turns out the one who intercepted the Lanhai sect's supreme elder's strike was the Overlord clan's primordial spirit great power elder, Ba Chuanxiu. Other primordial spirit realm powers, witnessing this, were first slightly surprised, then revealed amused expressions. Figures like Qin Zhang and Yi Qingzhu were exuberant. They hadn't expected the Overlord clan's primordial spirit great power to extend a helping hand to Lu Qing. Even Lu Qing himself was greatly surprised. Gazing towards the Overlord clan's location, he found Ba Tian smiling at him, even nodding in acknowledgement. Clearly, it must have been him requesting his elder to intervene. No particular reason, just can't bear seeing you rely on your cultivation realm to strike at a Golden Core realm junior. The equally tall, middle-aged man from the Overlord clan, Ba Chuanxiu, said calmly. "You must have heard earlier that this junior dared to plunder our Lanhai sect disciples within the secret realm, severely injuring them, nearly causing their demise. Such demonic conduct, if not punished by me, where does the Lanhai sect's dignity lie?" The Lanhai sect's supreme elder said, suppressing his anger. "Oh? Then why have I heard a different story? Your Lanhai sect, along with the Shenyuan sect and disciples from other sects, dozens of people obstructed a single individual trying to force a fortune. In the end, they were suppressed in return by this young man, who begged for mercy to live. Speaking of dignity, your Lanhai sect's dignity should have been long lost by your own disciples. And yet you still dare bully the small with the big. Do you think your Lanhai sect's reputation isn't tarnished enough?"